Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KVN, on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
What a beautiful day to be alive. What a great day. It's a great day to be alive on this here Wednesday on Kyle Brust Nortman. Is that it? Is that it?
Here on this Wednesday.
On this here Wednesday.
He
sounds like you're out from the country, Kyle.
Y'all know I got some
Southern Kyle.
Got some roots.
My kinfolk is from my kinfolk is from Mississippi and Tennessee.
Kinfolk.
And then they moved up to St. Louis before they came to Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust Nortman. I am Kyle Walsh. He's Bradley Nortman. You might have heard his name before because he punted in the NFL for 6 years. A legend at Wisconsin. How you doing, Brad?
Doing pretty good. A lot of emotions to work through today, given the news from Shams, but overall doing pretty good.
A lot of emotions, and somebody who I know is probably emotional and disappointed is Alex Strofe, the producer of Kyle Brust Nortman. Strofe, how you doing today?
Yeah, it's just one of those days.
I knew that was going to come from you. Ben Brust he always misses the big news. He missed the Michael Parsons news while he was on vacation.
Missed the Jonathan Gannon news this week.
Yeah, and now this ain't the first time. And then now, once again, he missed the Jeff Hafley news. I was producing the show. I was running the show when Jeff Hafley got hired. I was sitting in his chair. Ben, he knows when to be gone.
When Ben's on vacation, that's how you know. Prepare yourself for breaking news.
You know what? All these sports organizations say, Ben Brust is gone. We don't have to hear his loud mouth.
Yeah, we can't give him the satisfaction of breaking this story. Can't happen.
We can't, but if you want to join in on today's conversation, you can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and ESPN Madison on YouTube. You can also call in on the Carbless Talk and Text line at 800-990-3776, where less is more, because as we have alluded to, it is a sad day here in Milwaukee, not because Giannis has been traded, because he has not been traded, but because of the fact that the reality should finally set in, because a report from Shams today said that Giannis is now open to having a new home. And he's not talking about a new home in Whitefish Bay. He's not talking about a new home in Bayside. He's talking about a new home for where he calls his home for a basketball team. And also the Milwaukee Bucks are finally listening. 800-990-3776. Giannis is finally ready to move on from the Milwaukee Bucks. How does that make you feel? And are you disappointed? And who do you put the blame on that everything seems to be coming crashing to an end here in Milwaukee for Giannis?
Yeah, Kyle, I'm sad. I think up till this point, everything felt very hypothetical. You talked about the idea of Giannis being somewhere else, but he's still out there playing as a Buck throughout these last couple of years. And, he never came out and said publicly, like, I want to trade. I need a trade. I want to be out of here. There was some writing on the wall that what he wants for the second part of his career might not be able to be satisfied here in Milwaukee. So we were able to make some logical leaps thinking, man, I don't think Giannis is going to end his career here. And the allure of, if we did trade him, maybe we'd get some draft picks. Maybe there'd be some lotteries. This is one of the best draft classes in recent memory, so maybe there's some excitement there. But the minute this became real, to where Giannis admits he's looking for a new home, he's open to having a new home, and the Bucks are listening, a level of reality sank in for me. And the reality is Giannis will likely never wear a Bucks jersey again, because even if they don't trade him before the deadline on Thursday,
don't say that, Brad.
It's true, Kyle.
So you're saying wait a minute. So the Bucks are just it's over. It's over because they're out.
Kyle.
The Bucks
this is why this is hard. There's a level of mourning occurring on KBN all across the state.
Not our hero walking off injured, Brad.
Even if he doesn't get traded before Thursday. He's got a 4 to 6 week injury. That's going to take you to mid-March. There's only like a month left of the season at that point, and you're not going to put him out there with a kind of a scary calf injury to maybe have a worse injury, particularly if you're going to look to trade him in the summertime. You can't risk anything happening. And Giannis probably doesn't want to risk anything happening either, because his team is going to be way behind the playoff push when it comes to that point when he's actually ready. So the reality is sinking in that Giannis will likely never put on the green and cream 34 jersey, and we've seen the end of it. And because of that, it makes me sad, Kyle. I'm not to the point where like the memories help me stay warm and fuzzy. Right now, I'm sad is my primary feeling, because everything else that you could possibly get from Giannis, which we're going to get to that eventually, the Bucks need to extract as much as possible. But they're lottery tickets. They're scratch-offs. You don't know if it's going to turn out to be anything at all. You've got a $1 million portfolio in Giannis Antetokounmpo, more than that.
Million.
And you know that is about to be vacated from your bank account.
800-990-3776. We are reacting to the fact that Giannis Antetokounmpo, news came out that he is open to moving on from the Milwaukee Bucks. Have you accepted that the Giannis era is over in Milwaukee? The Bucks are listening to offers. We want to hear from you. I haven't accepted it. I haven't. I'll be very honest.
Not there yet.
I'm not there. I'm still in denial. This is where I stand with this. I think it is extremely disappointing that the Bucks were not able to build a better roster around Giannis. Yes, do I understand that they have done everything they can? The reason why we don't have these draft picks is because of the fact that we traded for Drew Holiday. The reason we don't have these draft picks is because we traded for Dame. The reason we don't have these draft picks is because we traded all these second-round picks for all these different guys. The Bucks and John Horst has done everything he can to satisfy Giannis, and it is their job to make sure the second act of Giannis was going to end with another championship and end with success. Instead, it has been an absolute failure of what we have seen this season and also what we saw last season. The Dame trade was the right move. From my perspective, it was the right move because we saw at that point that this team needed another scorer. They needed to go to score. Drew Holiday went, he won. He was like the fourth scoring option in Boston. He wasn't the second scoring option in Boston.
He did more than that, though. He played defense, and he was a leader of the team. That team had chemistry.
Every team needs to have a 1 and a 2 and a solid number 3.
I guess Middleton couldn't stay healthy.
Middleton couldn't stay healthy. We saw that in the Boston series when the Bucks were up 3-2, up in Game 6 against Boston before Jason Tatum went absolutely crazy right here at Pfizer Forum. And so when I think about this, I do think there is a way they can salvage this. I do think that Giannis doesn't want to leave.
You really are.
No. I believe, KBN Nation, that Giannis wants to be a Milwaukee Bucks forever. Why does Giannis have to leave the place that he's called his home the entire time he's been in America? This isn't just, Giannis is playing for any team. No, this is the only place he has lived in the United States of America. This is his adopted home. Do you think Giannis just wants to up and leave Milwaukee? No, this is his home, but you have to understand the organization has not done enough to build more pieces around him. They swung and they missed on Kuzma. Miles Turner hasn't worked out. All these moves they made, KPJ, not working out for the Bucks. And so, again, I talked about it yesterday. I think what the conversation needs to be is this, is they need to fire Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers ain't the one. Things have been bad with Doc, just like they were better with Adrian Griffin when they went Doc.
He straight up insulted Giannis by saying that Joel Embiid is the greatest talent he's ever coached. That is a slap in the face to Giannis.
And so move on from Doc. Move on from John Horst. And then what they should do is whoever takes over as the coach this season, Giannis not playing right now. This season, practice they behinds hard. You tell them we having practice at 6 a.m. Matter of fact, we gonna have practice at 5:30 in the morning. We gonna show up and nobody better be late, and we gonna work. We gonna work. We gonna work. We gonna work. We gonna have. Listen, you hear me out. And then we're going to have shoot around before the game. We're going to no shooting out, no off on shoot around. No, we're going to practice. We're going to work our butts off. We are going to be able to differentiate who really wants to be here. We are going to find out who loves basketball, because this is what angers me about what Giannis has to go through. Giannis loves basketball. Giannis ain't in the club. He ain't in the streets. He ain't doing none of that. This ain't just a check for Giannis. This is a love and a passion he has to be great. He is chasing greatness, and he has guys around him that aren't chasing greatness. They're chasing checks. That is the problem that Giannis has. And so what this coaching staff needs to do, what this organization needs to do, they need to find a weak link. They need to find all the weak links that don't want to put in work. They need to find the guys that don't look up to Drew Holiday and say, I want to be like him. Don't look up to Chris Middleton and say, I want to be like him. They don't look up to Brook Lopez and say, I want to be like him. If you have guys who are halfway going at it, guys who ain't working hard, guys that ain't putting in 100% effort, guys that ain't moving the ball, Doc, if they don't move the ball to Giannis and Giannis don't touch the ball every single time it doesn't run through him, get him out the game. Sit him. Bo Ryan would have sat him. You need to sit him. Listen, this team ain't going nowhere fast. Right now, it's all about setting a culture and setting an attitude. That is the only way you keep Giannis around here, if that you show you going to bring in the right people. The right people. I'm not trying to bring in people personal business, but we all know what KPJ did. We all know about that, right? And yeah, forgiveness is part of life. But when I look at this with KPJ, low character guy. Low care is a mistake that happened. That's okay. You can make mistakes. Let another team take them. Let another team take them. Don't take nobody. Don't take anybody that's not focused. No shot at Kyle Kuzma. I'm glad he's dating a model. But if you ain't focused all on basketball and you care about fashion, don't want you.
But it's too late for that, isn't it? I mean, this team is already constructed. They're stuck with Miles Turner. They're stuck with the Damian Lillard cap hit. They're stuck with no draft capital in order to build that team. So even if you're right, Kyle, and I do agree with you that the team that Giannis won a championship and the team that he has now, it couldn't be more different. From a chemistry, from a morality, from just focus on basketball, there is a level of disconnect. And Giannis must be looking around and saying, how did this deteriorate so fast? But the reality is the Bucks have painted themselves into a corner to where they have very few options. Even if they wanted to say, Giannis, we will fire Doc, we will fire John Horst, they have no ability to remake their roster with Giannis on it. And Then you're just hoping that Giannis, out of the good graces of his heart, trusts you and is able to re-sign an extension. That's something he's not willing to do, though, because why would he risk that? I truly thought Giannis would have multiple Super Bowl windows, kind of like Packer quarterbacks, right? How, Favre and Rodgers, they had early career and then late career. Well, Giannis had the Middleton, the Lopez, the Drew Holiday. He had that group. I thought for sure the Bucks would gracefully move from that group to somebody else under Giannis, and we would be just gearing up for another big run. That's why when he said, I want to be a Buck for life, I want to be here for 20 years, I want to be like Steph and Dirk and Kobe, I believed him. I think I still believe him.
He does.
But at some point, Kyle, we judge NBA stars on what?
Rings, titles, championships. Karl Malone, greatest one of the greatest scorers of all time. Nobody talks about.
You literally hit a ceiling in greatness if you cannot accumulate more rings. That's just the world that Giannis lives in. It's the world that we've created. So he knows if he's going to extend his greatness and he's going to really fulfill the career that he has the potential to, he has to go somewhere else to win a ring because it's not going to be here in Milwaukee.
And you know what? And for folks who want to make excuses for John Horst, listen, thank you, John Horst, for putting this championship roster together. But your job is not to win one championship when you have a franchise-type player like Giannis. I'm telling y'all this right now. Giannis is a once-in-a-generational type player in the city of Milwaukee. I cannot believe that the city of Milwaukee is about to move on from one of the best things that they got in 50 years. That's what we're looking to do. We have to understand this isn't just about a team. This is about what he's brought to the city. And John Horst's job is not to try again. If first you don't succeed, try again. No, his job is to, if first you don't succeed, you find a way to succeed. You don't get cookie points for making moves. You get cookie points for actually winning championships. And that is something that he has not been able to continue to do during the prime of Giannis. Giannis is 31 years old, and he's getting ready to be on the back end.
And it's like another 4 years of being elite.
And he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So Giannis understands that the clock is probably ticking for his body to be at an elite level that it is, and he cannot waste away in Milwaukee. The Bucks have their first-round pick this year they should hold on to and find a way to move on from Miles Turner, great character guy, but he's an asset. Find a way to move on from anybody and everybody on this roster that can get you something. The only untouchables is probably A.J. Green and Ryan Rollins and maybe Bobby Portis, because Bobby Portis, we all love Bobby.
Mayor of the city right there.
But they ain't untouchables. They're just guys I'm looking to keep around. I want high character guys and find a way to move on from these other dudes.
Well, that's what's interesting, right? Horst is almost treating this like he's playing like 2K, right? Where it's like, I'm just going to trade this, make this move. He's not thinking about chemistry. He's not thinking about fit. And he's painted himself in a corner now as far as trying to make Giannis healthy, making this team competitive. And the reality is there's no more moves you can make. Like this Giannis and Bucks, it's clearly heading for a divorce. And the thing is, they're not even being nice to one another anymore. Everyone has been in a relationship that's probably gone too far. And there's a love part of the relationship if it's not going to go well, if it's not forever. And then there's a part where it kind of sours and is toxic. And then there's an area where it's like, man, I'm not sure these two even like one another anymore. That's the phase we're in right now. Doc's taking shots at Giannis by saying Joel Embiid's the best ever.
Yeah, get Doc up out of here.
Giannis is booing people. I mean, he's surrounded with a bunch of fools out there on the court. I don't know what else needs to happen. And this is why this is inevitable. The best thing that we can do for Giannis is let him go elsewhere and let his greatness be on display because it's wasted here in Milwaukee.
800-990-3776. We're talking about the breaking news that Giannis Antetokounmpo is finally open to moving on from the Bucks, and the Bucks are open to listening to trade offers for one of the greatest players on the planet. 800-990-3776. What are your thoughts on that? What is your reaction? How does it make you feel? Are you ready to move on from Giannis? Alex Strofe, I want to hear from you on the other side because you are a big piece of Milwaukee in the sense of you're on ESPN. You have a show. You have very few people have radio shows here. And he loves the city of Milwaukee. On the other side, I want to hear from Alex Strofe, the emotional Alex Strofe. Get the Gen Z perspective on what it means to see basically somebody he's seen grow up here in the city of Milwaukee potentially move on. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. We'll have more on the other side.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Well, the dance floor specifically. I'm still sore, man. I dance my booty off.
Well, you don't have muscles.
You don't have a booty, so I don't know how you dance that. You dance your back off. Your back.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. On this show, it's always football season.
I would have liked to have seen the process go a little bit longer. I would have loved to have seen them evaluate. And then if it still comes back Gannon, great.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It did feel like there was maybe a little bit of a push. If you don't bring him in and get him done now, he's going somewhere else.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
New year, new ride. Start 2026 in style at Cunis. Bring in the savings with amazing offers on all cars, trucks, and SUVs at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis dealerships in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and Oak Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. Trade in the old and drive into the new with huge incentives and rebates on all new in-stock cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick. Better tech, better safety, better payments. Plus, we have pre-owned payments for every budget and over 2,500 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from group-wide. And don't miss this month's service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Scott Kunis, COO of Kunis Auto Group. We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials. And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear Lifetime Powertrain Warranty, included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases. Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
New year, new ride. Start your search online at shopkunis.com.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free, and 0% financing for 60 months, $1,000 off, plus a bonus vacation voucher. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing off the new year with another can't-miss tournament and 1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a 2-man scramble at the legendary Kapalua Plantation Course, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and you must get your round in by January 31st. Your chance to take on Kapalua Plantation Course starts today.
Homer here with a message about 3 Pillars Senior Living Communities, located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. 3 Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community. Active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. 3 Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You gotta go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on 3 Pillars at 3pillars.org.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app. Whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew, let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
At Saturn Lounge, we know if your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform, not just exist. Your storytelling would inspire, not fall flat. Your integrated campaigns would create impact, not excuses. There'd be no refreshing dashboards, no waiting on a report to explain what happened. It's time to generate quality leads and turn them into customers. Let's make it happen with Saturn Lounge, your marketing partner for clear, measurable results. Visit us today at SaturnLounge.com. When marketing works, it shows.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
There's kids out there who want to be like Giannis. If I could be like Giannis. You know what's crazy? Here on Kyle Brust Nortman, I'm Kyle Wallace, no Ben Brust. Bradley Nortman holding it down, also Alex Stroh. And you know that there's kids who don't know who the true number 34 is for us, Brad.
Ray Allen?
Yeah. Stroh, who's your true number 34?
I mean, it's Giannis. He's the better Buck.
Well, no, the thing
he
is,
did overtake.
He
Ray
did,
Allen, but I don't have a Giannis jersey. I've got a Ray Allen 34 jersey. It's a shame that number was taken by $2 Grace.
It is, and I remember when he got 34. I said, "What are we doing? What do you mean he's wearing 34? That's Ray Allen's number. He's going to be retired one day." I said, "Well, what is going on?" I was upset about that, and boy, oh boy, Giannis made it his. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line where less is more. You can join in on today's conversation as we are reacting to the news that Giannis hasn't requested a trade from the Bucks, but Giannis more so is now open to having a new home, and the Bucks are listening to offers these next 2 weeks before the next week before the trade deadline. You can watch and stream us live by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. You can give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. You also can watch and stream us live on ESPN Madison. We can give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. But we want to hear from you. Who's at fault? How did this all happen? 800-990-3776. Ken in Milwaukee, what are your thoughts on this Bucks situation and Giannis potentially leaving?
Hey, fellas. I mean, obviously it sucks as a Milwaukee fan because we're a small market team and you strike gold with the 15th pick in the draft. I mean, no one saw that coming. No one thought he was going to be what he turned into. So it's amazing. But we can't keep hiding behind, John Horst, because Giannis was a part of the dysfunction, too, that led to this. Because we can't say in one breath, we got to keep his buddies and he don't have no buddies here. Okay, but you can't tell your GM you can't trade my buddies and get better because I need my buddies. Here's part of the thing. I played sports my whole life. And you know how I made buddies? Cool. Every year when I signed up, I signed a new league. I went to a new sport. Whatever. I made new friends on the team. You make new buddies. If your buddies aren't good enough to constantly compete for a championship at the NBA level, then you know what? You go vacation with your buddies after the season. So for Giannis to say, we can't trade this guy. I want this guy. That's fine. Add my brother. That's fine. But then you can't complain about the roster. It started in 2019 when there was a chance to get Jimmy Butler for Chris Middleton. And he said, no, I need Middleton. Let's make no mistake about it. Middleton's a really good Buck. Middleton was never a player that some coach would be like, I need him on my team. He's the deciding factor for a championship. He was a good player, and he was made an all-star because of our record, just like those years in 2014-15 when the Hawks had a good record.
Ken, you cooking real quick, Ken, but I do have to push back on you real quick, is that Chris Middleton, dragging, I think you alluded to it, Chris Middleton helped us get to a finals without Giannis being there.
He was Superman for a couple games when Giannis is out.
Absolutely. He had a great run in that finals. Absolute, no doubt. As did Drew Holiday. But Drew Holiday didn't. He had the steal and the lob that is forever going to be Milwaukee iconic. You go back and look at his shooting percentages, he was brutal in those playoffs. Chris Middleton caught fire when we needed him to. Amazing. But you see it all the time where the backup quarterback, the sub, he gets hot for a few games, carries you. That's great. But Chris Middleton was there's no team that right now, if you look at the teams that you consider are championship contenders, tell me some team that has a number two that's not as good as Chris Middleton. That's just not the case. So when John Horst is trying to go get someone, and you say, well, my buddy's got to keep my buddies, it kind of limits what Horst can do. And then the other thing that just always rubbed me wrong was...
when I look at that, first of all, Chris Middleton, during those years that they were competing for championships, was amazing. He was an all-star. He was a legitimate number two.
He was Olympian, too.
To a legitimate best player in the NBA in Giannis. And honestly, having Middleton be your three, or Middleton be your two, Drew Holiday be your three, Brook Phillips as your four. That was a talented... There's a reason why they won a championship. They had depth. They had a starting lineup. And I don't think it was about Giannis's buddies. I don't think Giannis is necessarily worried about loyalty to that degree. I think he thought this was the best team together to win a championship. If he would have thought, oh, yeah, trade Drew for Dame, and oh, yeah, let's go get Miles Turner. And I don't know how much say he did or didn't have in those. I'm of the belief that I'm guessing that Horst was still the one to pull the trigger. And I don't know if Giannis, beat his fist on the table to say, give me those guys. I doubt it happened that way. But it's not about buddies for Giannis. It's about competing for a championship. And yes, you got rid of all those guys. But if all these guys like KPJ and Ryan Rollins and Miles Turner, if they were championship, and Kyle Kuzma, if they were championship caliber, then Giannis would be buddies with them. But he looks around and says, these guys stink. We can't win with them. This is not a competitive team. So it's not about buddies. It's about putting together a competitive team. And John Horst did not do that around Giannis in this now second chapter of his prime.
Thank you so much, Ken. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line where less is more. You can call in and react to the news that Giannis, according to Shams, the two-time MVP, is ready for a new home at the February 5th NBA trade deadline or in the offseason as several rival teams make aggressive offers to the Milwaukee Bucks for him, and the franchise, as in the Milwaukee Bucks, are starting to listen, according to league sources that told ESPN. I wonder who those sources are. 800-99-3776. Tom and Delavan, you think they should get a who coach?
Well, I had a little different thought. My son and I weren't real crazy about the Doc Rivers coaching thing back when. But now, when it's sort of desperate, I just had this thought, like, who would make Giannis happy if he were to stay? And it seems to me when he's his happiest playing basketball in the recent years is when he plays for the Greek national team. So is there some way to get that coach, either as a head coach or an assistant on the Bucs staff, and, therefore make them feel a little better about things that way while trying to build the best they can in the off season? I don't really like trading before we know who's where in the draft and that type of thing.
I wouldn't take a flyer on an international coach that's never coached in the NBA before. And I don't think Giannis is concerned about who the coach is as far as making him happy. I think Giannis is all about winning. I think that's the concern here. It's not about his buddies. It's not about who's coaching him. Can I be on a championship caliber team? He is probably looking at his NBA mortality with injuries mounting and being in his 30s and thinking, I don't have a whole lot of more years to do this, and I want more than one championship. So whether it be the coach or the players, it's not pacifying him with somebody that he quote unquote likes. It's having championship caliber guys around him, because we know Giannis. He's a competitive freak. All he wants to do is play basketball and win. That is his focus. That's what got him out of Greece. That's what brought him here. He still operates at the level of humility that few superstars even touch throughout their career. So it's not about making Giannis happy with his teammates or his coach. He wants championship caliber. And nothing about the Bucks outside of Giannis is championship caliber. It's just that easy.
Nothing about the Bucks is championship caliber. That is absolutely right. Again, we are reacting to the news that Giannis is finally open to having a new home and that the Bucks are listening to offers. 800-990-3776. Levi and Stevens Point, how are you feeling about Giannis?
Hey, guys. Good to talk to you again.
What's up, Levi?
I could tell you this feeling, but I'm doing fine. But anyway, all jokes aside, I'm not surprised about all the Giannis news. I'm just so happy back in 2020 when they won the whole damn thing, which was great to see. That was like the best memory as a Wisconsin sports fan. But I really am a huge LA Lakers Strope on this, but if he was traded, the Lakers play with Luka, that would be nuts. But I don't see him playing there. But I don't know what's going to happen in the off if he was traded on my birthday next Thursday on the trade deadline. We'll see. But
Happy early
I see you
birthday, Levi.
I see Levi dropping that in
wants
there.
To see Giannis, Luka, and LeBron James all playing together for the LA Lakers. Now that would be quite the ticket.
Let me tell you something. I guess they got some good young pieces, but I don't think they have enough assets. And
Levi does make
I'll
a good
take
point.
Luka.
I'll take Luka.
I'll take Luka too. I mean, but he ain't getting Luka.
Levi makes a good point. We'll always have 2021. We'll always have the one. We'll always have the one.
We will always have the one. And the one I do want to hear from on the other side when we come back is I want to hear from Alex Strofe, because Alex Strofe has been silent on how he feels about what transpired earlier today. And I want to get your take on it being the only great basketball player in Milwaukee that you have ever seen. 800-990-3776. When we come back, we'll talk about that. But before we do, I know something that's delicious and tasty and will make you feel better.
Oh, delicious, tasty, and you got to feel better on a day like today. You're in your feelings. I know I am too, and that's why a nice cold carbless is going to be waiting for me in the Nortman fridge when I get home. I mean, you guys know the Blood Orange just hit in a 4-pack by itself, basically back by popular demand, plucked out of the Tropical Bliss variety pack. Blood Orange, now its own 4-pack. I've got that waiting for me, chilling in the fridge. I'm going to have to crack one of those open. And cheers to you, Giannis, and cheers to the Bucks winning that championship, because I feel like it's the only one I'm ever going to get. But when it comes to being a championship level ready-to-drink cocktail, carbless is that. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten. Only 100 calories, the absolute perfect level of carbonation. And the flavors are off the hook. They have so many of them, impossible to choose my favorite. But Blood Orange is the one I've been enjoying most lately. It's in my fridge right now. The new Blood Orange 4-pack is there because it was so clamored after. People were saying, I got to have more Blood Orange. I got to have more Blood Orange. Carbless answers what you want. So go pick up your own Blood Orange. It's delicious, it's tasty, it's refreshing. It will always be enjoyed. Less is more with Carbless.
Mark in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube chat said, they did so many things to get a bite at the apple. Now nothing has worked. And frankly, I've got Giannis fatigue. Ooh. Are people getting Giannis fatigue? Oh! Is Milwaukee turning on Giannis? Maybe Strofe is. We'll have that next. Keep it locked. This is
You're
Kyle
listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
I'm a tool. My name is Ben Brust, and I'm a tool.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Rock a big win this January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $60,000 in prizes every week. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Plus, your January drawing entries all roll into an even bigger prize drawing in March. Rock on all month long, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
4 years, it's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to raise a toddler into a kindergartner, to train for something big and become someone new.
Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is offering 0% interest for 4 years, so you can invest in your home and use your hard-earned savings for life's biggest moments. Offering Pella exclusive features like blinds between the glass and customizations to match every home style. We believe in providing our customers with the highest quality products and top-notch service at a price you can afford. Tested, safe, durable, and backed by a limited lifetime warranty, Pella is rated #1 for craftsmanship, innovation, and exceptional design.
So aim high and think long-term when setting your New Year's resolution. And imagine what you can accomplish in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella Windows and Doors Wisconsin. Start your journey today at PellaWI.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Arrowhead senior and Minnesota commit Natalie Kusow. Kusow etched her name into the record books, becoming the all-time leading scorer in Waukesha County girls basketball history. She followed the record-breaking milestone with a dominant performance in Arrowhead's 77-41 win over Muskego, finishing with 33 points as the Warhawks improved to a perfect 13-0 on the season. Already a Wisconsin Gatorade Player of the Year and a contributor to a state championship track and field team, Kusow continues to lead one of the top programs in Wisconsin while preparing to join the University of Minnesota next season. Congratulations to Natalie Kusow, your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Tired of waking up exhausted? That dad bod weighing you down? Let's get you back to the old you. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, your hormones could be out of balance. At Mentality, we'll dig into what's really going on, then build a personalized, science-backed plan using hormone therapy and peptide treatments to get your brain and your body back on track. So stop telling yourself you're just getting older. Book your appointment now at lowtusa.com. Right now, all new patient labs are covered in your treatment plan. That's a savings of $250. Go to lowtusa.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Bye, Giannis. Some folks are saying bye-bye, and other folks are saying, bye-bye. I'm more in the bye-bye. Strofe might be in the bye-bye. Get up out of here. 800-990-3776. We want to hear from you as we all react to the news that Shams has reported that Giannis is open to having a new home, and the Bucks are listening to offers. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman. He is Bradley Nortman. I'm Kyle Wallace. No Ben Brust today. And for those, I see some of y'all mad at Shams. Some of y'all saying, Shams just likes to, he wants, the Bucks to suck, or he just wants to drum up stuff. I just want y'all to understand how some of these things work. I personally don't work for the major network, but let me tell y'all this. Shams works for ESPN, and he replaced who? Woj. You think Woj had all these great relationships, or do you think the ESPN brand that pays millions and millions and millions, might be billions, I don't even know, all this money for broadcast rights, you don't think the NBA is funneling them information? But y'all think Shams is just making calls? He making calls, but he also has connects.
Yeah, I mean, he is the epitome of Big J journalism. When he talks, there's a level of credibility behind exactly what he's saying. He doesn't just come to the air and say, yeah, I think today is a good day to stir the pot and say that Giannis wants out and the Bucks are listening. It comes with real sources and real facts. And honestly, he's been on this for now 9 or so months, and we have kind of seen the writing on the wall coming to a head now. So listen, maybe you just don't want to hear what he has to say. And I can understand that because it's painful.
Yes, it is extremely painful to have to go through this. And someone who is Gen Z, and I know I can be emotional at times, but he's extremely emotional. What are you shaking your head for, Alex Stroh?
Why do you got to bring up Gen Z and emotional? Why is that my intro?
Because what I realized, I was a manager before at 101.7 The Truth. And what I've come
as a manager.
And what I've come to realize is that Gen Z was different. You know how many meetings I found myself talking about feelings? How often? We've worked together for 2+ years now. Brad, have I ever talked to you really about my feelings?
No, I've never really heard about your feelings.
Do I talk about my feelings?
I know a little bit about I know about your emotional roller coaster off air, a little bit. You can be a roller coaster.
You know what we should do? We should bring it on air.
Alex Strofe, what is your reaction to Giannis? And potentially leaving the Milwaukee Bucks?
It's a couple things, man. Like, I think, number one, this is now forever the day where the Bucks stop pretending that there wasn't a riff. that there wasn't a realistic possibility that there's life after Giannis. I think this is the day. In the Shams tweet, the franchise is starting to listen, is what he said. So that's number one. The thing that irritates me, and you referenced at the end of last segment, the Giannis fatigue, which is very real, right? If you've been a Wisconsin sports fan as long as the three of us have been, right? I'm thinking back when Brad was talking about Desmond Howard on the news, and Kyle, you were doing the Pack Arena in the 90s. Like, we've gone through several athlete fatigues. We went through Brett Favre fatigue. Will he, won't he? Will he, won't he? We went through Aaron Rodgers fatigue. What's he going to say next about hating the Packers, but he actually won't leave? And now there's Giannis fatigue. Similarly to Favre. Will he, won't he? Will he, won't he? And the thing I'm fatigued with is the vague language around everything related to Giannis the last 9 months plus. Right? Today it's Giannis Antetokounmpo is ready for a new home. And no, he's not calling Bruner Realty in Madison, man. This is I've requested a trade without requesting a trade. This is the softest way we've ever done. I've requested a trade. Kyle, you take a lot of pride in being the man of the house. So I imagine
I put on my big draws every day.
I imagine when you and baby girl are arguing, sometimes you just have to say to her, you put your foot down and calmly and kindly you say to her, just tell me what you mean. Just tell me what you're thinking. Telling me you're ready for a new home does not tell me what you mean. You know what tells me what you mean? I, Giannis Antetokounmpo, am posting to my Instagram story, because it's 2026, that I am requesting a trade from the Milwaukee Bucks. And the reaction would be one of appreciation, not anger, which never happens with superstars when they request trades.
I don't know about that, Stro.
You think if we found out, we would be so upset if Giannis did that.
What does it benefit?
What does this tell you? Hold on. But what does this tell you? What does Giannis is ready for a new home tell you? That doesn't scream to you, Giannis has requested a trade?
No, it does not. It screams to me that the Milwaukee Bucks organization leaked this out a week before the trade deadline so they could start getting trade offers and letting the whole NBA know from a big source in ESPN to saying, hey, we're open to trading Giannis.
Looking at this backwards. This is Giannis's camp.
No, I promise you it's not Giannis's camp. Well, actually, I can't promise you because I don't know. So wait a minute. What do you know? You said you promised, and I tried to follow up. So you say this is Giannis's camp.
That's what it says to me more so than the Bucks.
Okay, well, all right.
So
well, then
don't
I
you
take
think
that
that's just
back.
an admission that the two are heading in separate directions, and it's time to explore ways to make it best for both of them?
I mean, I think that's certainly because where we're crescendoing, but there's only eight days until the deadline. For the Bucks, it's give me the best offer you got right now. But I think the most likely outcome of this is he's not traded in 8 days, because I believe the longer this goes on, right, if the Bucks can get through the next 8 days without accepting an offer they can't refuse, they should view that as, all right, I've got 4+ months to gain leverage. Because he's not getting traded until the draft, which is at the end of June. It's the beginning of February.
What's Giannis' benefit? Honestly, what is Giannis' benefit being traded? Because he's hurt. Giannis is going to miss the next 4 weeks, and then he has to get acclimated with a new team, which is fine.
Yeah,
it's Giannis.
but I mean,
what's the benefit right now?
But Kyle, you've heard me say this 100 times the last 9 months plus. Looking at the window where these reports have really picked up. Giannis values two things a whole heck of a lot. Okay, he values loyalty, and we've seen that loyalty over the course of the last 12 and plus years. Whether that's with his family, whether that's with Milwaukee, whether that's with the organization. Loyalty is so important to him. But there's one thing that trumps loyalty for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and that's winning.
Well,
He wants to win a second championship.
Okay.
That's very, very important to him.
The Bucks have been loyal to Giannis. It's just right now it's a debacle. I don't like hearing what Doc said about my boy Giannis, or didn't say about him, but what he said about
Joel Embiid is the most talented player. Yeah,
such an absurd,
lovely optics.
Such an absurd.
For a guy that's already in the doghouse for 99.5% of Bucks fans, not the best comment you can make in the middle of this.
I wonder why he made it.
Because he's a volume shooter verbally, right? Like he just says things. He doesn't think about what he's saying. He's Doc Rivers.
No, Doc.
I think it says that there's trouble in paradise.
Yeah, I don't think you
as well.
If you think,
you could read a lot into Giannis. I will let you read every tea leaf. I recommend, both for your sanity but also for your wisdom, do not read into anything Doc Rivers says.
Okay.
The guy is a volume shooter verbally. He says ridiculous things all the time.
Do you think Giannis takes zero offense to that comment? Like, we don't know Giannis.
I don't know. But I don't think he should, because it's Doc Rivers.
That's supposed to be my head coach, a guy that I've accomplished more than, and clearly better than. I don't know. It's just
that's not loyal to me.
No. If I'm Giannis, It's just another cherry on top to this already crazy cake that they're throwing at me.
I just don't understand why Doc can't get the most out of this team and let this team understand that this is Giannis' team, and that if everything flows through Giannis, greatness will come from it. That's the one thing I just don't get is why Doc can't tell them this is Giannis' team. Whatever Giannis wants us to do offensively or defensively, we're going to listen to Giannis because he's one of the greatest players in all your.
If we want to acknowledge something, we're allowed to acknowledge it. Similarly to Aaron Rodgers. I don't think superstar players should be making decisions. You know who wanted Adrian Griffin? Giannis. You know who wanted him fired? Giannis. You know who signed off on Doc Rivers? Giannis.
Did Giannis sign off on Doc, or did he have much of a choice? I guess
they could have ridden it out with Joe Prunty as the interim.
I guess.
Well, and so that's the biggest mystery. Whether it be head coaching, whether it be all these trades of Damian Lillard or going to get Miles Turner, was Giannis at the forefront of the decision, or was he hearing it after the fact? I mean, we just don't know these things, but I can't imagine. Giannis doesn't seem like the kind of guy to me that would say, yeah, trade one of my best friends in Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard.
He didn't know.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
He didn't know.
So, and yeah. You know, Adrian Griffin, it's only been about 30 games. Get him out of here. He doesn't come off as that kind of guy to me. But
yeah, I think I will say Griff was, it was so bad with Griff that I wouldn't be surprised if the players did come together and say we got to move on from Griff because it got so bad. Because
their record is pretty amazing.
It was really good, but the one sign that we should have looked into is when Terry Stotts, who is a veteran coach in the NBA, he basically came here to help Griff out, and he left I think during training camp.
It was during training camp.
Yeah,
so, people forget about that story, man.
He rode the elevator and said, "I'm out of here."
I was on the elevator with him. Did you know that?
Yeah. I think you said
I was on
that.
the elevator with him. I wanted to ask him what happened. I was like, but I just
what elevator were you in again?
I got some people I hang out with, and they live with people like.
Oh,
coaches.
it was in an apartment complex.
It was in an apartment complex. Nice apartment, dog. Nice. They on the river.
Over at the
two
court
stories.
tour?
It was in the This is before. Before the cutting tour.
I will say, abrupt retirements and leaving the team, it does reflect something. I told you about the time when a Jags player retired.
Again.
Oh my! It's such a great story. So my second year at the Jags, Tom Coughlin, Doug Marrone takes over, and we go from Gus Bradley, which there's ping pong and Xbox in the locker room, to all that stuff out of there, and it is a hard, with a capital H, training camp. I mean, super hard in Jacksonville, Florida.
Even from the punter.
Not necessarily for a punter, but like meetings were super early. They went super late. Practices were really hard. We signed a guy named Brandon Albert, who is like a former Dolphin. He was a really good player. He's going to probably be a starter on the team. And everyone was just complaining. Their bodies were hurting. And so they would use like the hot cold tubs as recovery and some of the things that only guys look forward to. He walked in one morning in August, and near the end of training camp, walked in and saw a sign on the hot tub that says, "Out of order." He put his stuff down, he turned around, he walked right to the GM's office and retired. He said, "That's it."
Hot tub out of order.
The hot tub's out of order. That's it. It's the last straw. I got to retire. I'm done with this. I can't do it anymore.
Did he ever come out of retirement?
He tried to come back, and they wouldn't take him.
He was offensive lineman.
He tried to come back a couple weeks later after he got his, and they said, no. Isn't that crazy? The man retired because of a broken hot tub.
So, every time you tell that story, I just think mental health is real. I ain't no way in the world I'm passing on that chick.
That's how hard it was, though. Everyone was like so miserable. And he had one thing, Kyle. He had the hot tub. He had the hot tub every morning and every night. He had the hot tub, and the hot tub was out of order. I can't do this.
You know what though? We need a Tom Coughlin type mentality around the Milwaukee Bucks. I want dudes to get the hell up out of here because they don't feel like they getting the things they want and things are too tough. Because you know who ain't leaving? Giannis. He wouldn't leave if that was the case. We would separate the weak from the great. That's exactly what we could do. But 800-990-3776. We are reacting on the Carbless Talking text line to Giannis not requesting a trade, but reportedly being open to playing somewhere else outside of Milwaukee.
That's requesting a trade.
That is not requesting a trade.
Saying he is open to a new home.
Well, John Horst
ready for a new home.
Jimmy Haslam.
Kyle,
Let's tap Jimmy Haslam's phone.
Kyle, if you said to somebody that you know, right? A friend, whatever. I'm looking for a new home. Does that mean you're moving?
If I was mad with this show, which I'm so happy with the show.
No.
Let me finish.
Use the house analogy.
No. I'm going to use the show because this is good. We're a team, right? If I'm satisfied with the team, but if I'm not happy with this team and I go to, let's say, Craig Carmer's and say, Craig, man, like, I love being here. I want to be here, but like there's things happening. Brad Nortman is trash.
Yeah.
Ben Brust is crazy. Alex Strofe is emotional. And I just need better teammates around me. I don't want to leave, but I can't sit here and not let my greatness shine around these bozos. And like maybe I'll be open to going somewhere else, but I really want to be here. But if this doesn't change, I'll be open to going somewhere else. And Craig went and leaked it to the media and saying that, Kyle Wallace might be ready to go somewhere else.
It does sound like you are trying to incite.
No, it sounds like I want.
Change.
No, it sounds like a change here, change here. But if things don't change here, then let me go somewhere else where I can be great.
2-time MVP Kyle Wallace is ready for a new home.
And ESPN Milwaukee's listening.
You're not changing the light fixtures, Kyle. That means you're buying a new house.
No, I'm open and ready to a new home. Not saying I need to, but I'm open and ready. I'm standing behind Giannis.
Even if this is Giannis's way of asking for a trade, do you blame him?
No,
I don't.
No.
Well, that's my point. And just say the quiet part out loud because it won't be a bad reception like there typically is when there's trade requests.
No, I don't blame Giannis.
This fan base won't turn on Giannis.
I don't mind
your strategy. If Giannis all of a sudden posted on social media,
said you wouldn't be mad.
No. I'm saying, listen, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the fan base. If we went on social media and Giannis says, I'm requesting a trade, we all be like, oh my gosh, Giannis is requesting a trade. Why did we go about it? Now we're losing leverage, and now the Bucks may not be able to get all the assets. Tell me that wouldn't be people wouldn't be talking about.
Kyle's analogy, if he went to Craig and wanted to leave, the alternative would be going on social media and standing up here in the marketplace and saying ESPN Milwaukee and KBN stinks. I want out of here.
We got to get to a break, but I just want to read you two different texts we got within moments of each other. This one from Hunter in the 414. He says, Kyle is firmly sat in the bargaining stage of grief. Jake follows that up a minute later and says, Kyle is in the denial stage of grieving. Huh.
Wow.
I'm standing 10 toes down behind Giannis, who brought a championship to my city, to the Milwaukee, for the first time in 50 years. If John Horst built a better team around him, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Dirty D, I see you. I see y'all on the Carbless Talking text line. I see y'all on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and ESPN Madison on YouTube. We'll take your calls. We'll take your texts as we continue to react to the breaking news of Giannis being open to moving to a new home, and the Bucks are listening to offers. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
You know Italian. What do you mean?
You know Italian?
You do know Italian.
Yeah, he's right.
That's French. But you had gelato.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home Blow and Bailey Cohen. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffel, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Matrix Basements.
Marquette turned in one of its best all-around performances of the season, cruising past Creighton 86-62 at Fiserv Forum. The Golden Eagles held the Blue Jays in check defensively all night, forcing tough shots and limiting second-chance opportunities while building a lead that ballooned to as many as 31 points. Head coach Shaka Smart proud of his team's effort on the defensive end.
Well, just proud of the way that the guys, battled in the first half on the defensive end. Our guys put together a just a ton of really, really good, what we call Marquette ID possessions, and that's what led to 6 kills.
Marquette improved to 8-14 overall and 3-8 in Big East play, led offensively by Nigel James Jr., who scored 21 points. Next up for MU, a trip to Seton Hall Saturday morning.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Matrix Basements. Visit gomarquette.com/Matrix to enter to win 4 tickets to National Marquette Day Saturday, February 7th, when Marquette hosts Butler.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Chris Larson. Marquette picked up a much-needed win, knocking off Creighton 86-62 at Fiserv Forum. The Golden Eagles now sit at 8-14 overall and 3-8 in Big East play, powered by freshman Nigel James Jr., who scored 21 points, adding steady leadership on the offensive end as Marquette pulled away early.
Here's a steal by James. He can dunk it if he wants. He will. The windmill stuff.
He did more than dunk it.
He wants to get on ESPN.
Marquette looks to build on that momentum Saturday on the road at Seton Hall as Big East play continues.
Medicare can be confusing. It can be a lot to consider when you just want medical and financial security. WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance keeps it simple. You have the freedom to see any doctor in the U.S. who accepts Medicare. Planning on moving? Your plan moves with you. Can't get much simpler than that. Call Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance. The intent of this advertisement is solicitation of insurance. Contact may be made by the insurer or a licensed agent. Neither Wisconsin Physician Service Insurance Corporation nor its agents nor products are connected with the federal Medicare program.
Your taste buds are in luck. The Reuben is back at Cousin Subs. Try this classic sub grilled to order just for you. Stacked with corned beef, Wisconsin Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut topped with Thousand Island dressing and served on rye bread. And our delicious mint shake is back. Both the Reuben and mint shake can be ordered via the Cousins app or online for a limited time only. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Is this Giannis' last year as a Milwaukee Bucks? We shall see, as the Bucks are now listening to trade offers for Giannis. Yes, you heard that correct. The Milwaukee Bucks are listening to trade offers for our franchise player in Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman. You can watch and stream us live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe as we are on our road to 20,000 subscribers. You can also watch and stream us live on ESPN Madison. Bradley Nortman, crazy.
It's crazy.
Just crazy that we might be losing our franchise player.
I mean, I truly thought Giannis would be a forever Buck. I thought they'd be able to do a better job at keeping pieces around him to make this team competitive. And I mean, never did I think a team around him could get so bad and the leadership and coaching would be so bad that even with Giannis playing a lion's share of games, this team is struggling to even be in the playoff picture. They can't even be a top end or a middling team in the East. So it's just sad. I mean, it's one of those times where it's like you're thankful that you got one because not everybody gets one with this great of a player, but it's hard to wrap your head around. And I'm telling you, the first time that I see Giannis in a different uniform, it is going to be weird. It's going to be like seeing Brett Favre in a Jets jersey. Like that is a weird optic that's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely weird. 800-990-3776. Benji in Madison. Giannis to the Pistons. Keep it tight.
You got it, boys. The Pistons got everything the Bucks need. They got, give them 4 or 5 first-rounders, young, upcoming, great defensive players, Asar Thompson, Ron Holland, and then you throw in Jaden Ivey. But the Bucks got to throw in Bobby Portis soon.
Aren't those draft picks from the Pistons? They're the number one team in the East. Those are going to be late first rounds. So those draft picks are basically useless. I want only lottery picks. Only lottery picks. I'd rather have 2 lottery picks than 4 late round first draft picks.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Look what Horst has done with late round picks. He's done horrible.
Yeah, that's one of the big things that we have to understand is that Horst hasn't been good enough at drafting. Like
No,
he hasn't.
Can't miss guys.
And I mean, here he may miss. That's the thing. He may take the swing and get the one guy that ends up not being good. Horst has to go. He has to go because though he was able to put this team together initially, he has done an abysmal job at drafting players. He's done a terrible job at doing that. And so
he hasn't had a lottery pick since 2016.
I don't give a damn if he hasn't had a lottery pick. You still got to find a way to make magic. Undrafted guys, second round guys. Remember the Indiana Pacers, and we were looking at that team, how they had some second round picks that were getting buckets against us.
Sure, but
what do you mean? Sure, where are second round picks getting buckets in the playoffs?
Crapshoot. It just is that late in the round. All the sure things are drafted in the top 10.
But he went on an all-time cold streak. An all-time
right,
cold
but he had
streak.
like the 26th pick.
So you're saying that there's no pick? You're saying no pick under 26?
I think John Horst did a whole hell of a lot, and he has a large part to do with why the Bucks won a championship in 2021.
Do you trust John Horst to be the architect of whatever the future of the Bucks are?
I certainly think he has earned the opportunity to be said architect.
Okay.
I don't believe he's earned it based off the fact
you have flip-flopped on him so many times in the last calendar year, man. You just have. Like when he signed Miles Turner, he was a genius.
I liked it.
When he cut and spread Damian Lillard's contract, he was a genius. When he traded for Damian Lillard, he was a genius. When he got his contract extension,
I ask
it was
you a question?
well-deserved.
How good
but now he's got to go?
How good is Keyshawn George in the NBA?
He's going down with the ship, man.
Excuse me, how good is Keyshawn George in the NBA?
Who?
Strofe knows who Keyshawn George is.
I do, but I don't understand the point.
He got drafted after A.J. Johnson. How good is he?
He's much better than A.J. Johnson.
Well, there you have it. There you have it.
Okay, so one miss?
What do you mean one miss? I can go through every draft class. And I'm sure I can find somebody that was drafted after.
Right, but
he didn't get one right, Strofe?
But you're
Why are
missing
you
my
making
point.
excuses for somebody who hasn't gotten it right? That doesn't make sense to me. And Dante DiVincenzo got traded away twice.
The one guy.
Twice.
But hold on, you're missing the point because he has got it right. He won a championship.
Yeah,
he was the architect that led this franchise to a championship.
So wait a minute, the Bucks.
The Lillard trade was the right move. It just didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
But you take that swing 10 times out of 10.
I agree. You take that. I agree. You take that swing, but you
the
still
fact
have.
Giannis is still here is thanks to John Horst.
It is his responsibility to put a team together. He has not been able to successfully put a team together that can win the championship since 2021. Thank you for winning the title, but your job.
I think that's inaccurate. I think if they stay healthy, they are certainly entitled contention for like 3 more of those.
Wait.
Giannis was injured in the postseason 2 years in a row.
The injury issue is a real thing. Like their window got detonated by injury.
John Horst absolutely deserves the opportunity to fix this.
You know,
he's not going to trade.
Don't listen to Strofe. You know what?
Wasn't the only thing that he did for that team was the Drew Holiday trade, which was a big deal. But like he didn't bring on Middleton or Brook Lopez or Giannis.
I would say that's a very big deal.
It's one piece.
A ginormous one.
It's an important piece, but it's not like he found Giannis and Middleton.
But he had the cojones to say, you know what, Eric Bledsoe, who was pretty
the cojones to get rid of Eric Bledsoe, who was praying in the playoffs when he laid up a ball. Stop it. That didn't take cojones.
And he found the way to flip that into Drew Holiday.
He gave up everything. But this is why I have an issue with
it
you,
led
Strofe.
to a championship.
Can I ask y'all, who's the coach of the Denver Nuggets now? Is it the guy that led him to a championship or no? Yeah, he got fired. Yeah, Mark Malone got fired.
Yeah, so did Mike Budenholzer.
And so did Calvin Booth, the general manager who brought the Nuggets their first title in years. You can move on if guys aren't meeting your expectations with the talent that you have. Y'all sitting here yelling about, Adam Stenavich is still here. Adam Stenavich is still here. Matt LaFleur won't get rid of him. You're Matt LaFleur. Goody's your Adam Stenavich. Or excuse me, not Goody. Horst is your Adam Stenavich.
Now, we have a lot more proof for what John Horst has done than Adam Stenavich. A lot more proof in that pudding.
Thank you. But next, in the great words of Ariana Grande, this is Kyle Brust Nortman. We'll take your calls next.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. You know that saying, new year, new you. Well, how about new year, new home upgrade? Universal Windows Direct has a January offer that's all about starting strong and saving big. Right now, when you buy 4 windows, you get 4 free, and that's one of the biggest offers they've ever done, and with 0% interest financing for 60 months. You'll also get $1,000 off your entire project, plus a vacation voucher with every purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
It's UWM's homecoming, and the celebration features 2 Panthers basketball games. The action tips off Friday as the men's team takes on Wright State at 7 p.m. at Panther Arena. Then on Saturday, the women's team hits the Kalachi Center Court against the Raiders at 2 p.m. Fans at both games will score a free black and gold in the cold homecoming t-shirt courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Join us Friday at 7 for the men's game and Saturday at 2 for the women's game. Lock in your tickets at mkepanthers.com. Milwaukee Panthers Athletics for the MKE.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com.
Luke Bryan, Word on the Street Tour, with special guests Drew Baldridge, Ray Lynn, Lauren Watkins, and DJ Rock. Saturday, September 26th, Alpine Valley Music Theater. Tickets on sale Friday, 10 a.m. at LiveNation.com.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It is hour 2 of Kyle Brust Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Whenever, wherever you're listening, just know we are live on YouTube, ESPN Madison on YouTube as well. We're talking about the breaking news that Giannis, our guy, the man who brought us a championship, our MVP, is open to playing somewhere else. And the Milwaukee Bucks, according to Shams, are open to listening to offers. The Knicks, the Heat are 2 teams that are going to be hot looking for Giannis. I definitely want to get into that conversation with you all, talking about what is it that you will take for Giannis, because I think that's a big thing, is if we're going to move on from him, what should the expectation be? I know Shams came out with some additional information on that as well, but 800-990-3776. Big Ed in Madison, what are your thoughts on Giannis?
Well, I'm just like all of you. I never thought this day would ever come. I remember when he did a 60 Minutes special, how he loved Milwaukee and how he wanted to be there for a long period of time. But look what's happened. We've gotten some really shoddy coaching this year. Yeah, the GM, he's not done the best of jobs. He got a pay raise last year and bring in some overaged or kept overaged individuals on the team. We got old. I want draft picks. I want a stud player to come in that actually can to be a scorer. And the Bucks actually looked kind of okay last night against Philadelphia for maybe a quarter or a half, part of a half, because they started playing. They got to learn how to play without their star. And I think they need to take their head coach with the draft picks and throw him to the curb. They need someone that develops talent. We had some G Leaguers that were on the team that weren't doing so well, and there's guys sitting on the bench. Jackson, he was in the dunk contest last year, right?
Yeah, he just fell off the map.
Seen the court hardly at all this year. So I want a coach that develops.
There's so many things that went wrong, because I think, as the caller was saying, Big Ed in Madison, I believe.
Big Ed.
Big Ed. I remember that 60-minute special. I remember even like when the Antetokounmpo movie and documentaries came out, and there was a feeling like I cannot believe the greatest basketball player on the planet is a Milwaukee Buck. There were moments of that, and we lived it up, and those were the golden years of Bucks basketball. But it's almost like somebody that was like living modestly, and then they won the lottery. And then you're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. You lived it up. You got into debt. And now the bill is being paid. And we're looking back at going backward in standard of living back to a modest living. That's what it feels like. It feels like we have to remember the days of the mid-2000s Bucks and the 90s Bucks where you're just kind of excited about, a Ray Allen hitting 6 threes. I mean, it's just those were the days we were making the playoffs. That's all you could ever hope for. And there was a level of contentment with that. But when you got a taste of the finer things in life, you got a taste of the luxuries in life. And now I'm just grappling with the fact that we have to go back down to modest living because we've been living luxury in these times with Giannis, and it's a painful descent.
And I don't think the city of Milwaukee is quite ready for this because Giannis has been here for so long that you have a generation of fans that only know the Bucks being competitive, only know the Bucks on the rise, only know the Bucks in the conversation. Things change. And again, you see the stadium, it's empty. It's empty now, and you still have Giannis there. It's going to go back and be worse than what it was before we got Giannis, when we had hope in Andrew Bogut and Brandon Jennings. We are going to fall into abyss. That is what's going to happen. And so if you do move on from Giannis, you have to be extremely strategic about the assets that you bring in.
Well, and that's why I really believe it when we had other callers say, I want the Detroit Pistons draft picks, and they got some good young players. I get that. However, late draft picks don't do you a whole lot of good. Those are truly a lottery ticket, and young players, that young player better be well primed to be an absolute superstar, because you're saying goodbye to one elite superstar. You need to have several young superstars in the tank to make this worth it whatsoever.
You got to have several, and we'll see what Horst is going to be able to do, as I do believe that Giannis will be traded away from the Milwaukee Bucks because the Bucks won't be able to do enough to build a quality roster around them. I want to hear from you all. Dirty Diana and Maguanago. You all right, Dirty D?
My heart is hurting so bad right now, guys.
Oh, man.
I can't imagine this team without Giannis.
What else you feeling, Dirty D?
I think they tried to put a team around him, but I think they dug themselves in a hole. We don't have the money like some of these big market teams do, so I think they tried, but it didn't work.
Dirty D, are you crying?
My heart is sad.
Oh, girl.
Right there with you, Dirty D.
Girl. Look what you're...
She's going to make me cry. Kyle had to get up out of his chair. He's starting to tear up, too.
What?
Man.
Thank you, Dirty D. I feel for you.
I can't listen to the sadness in Dirty D's
Dirty
voice.
D, let me tell you about Dirty D. Dirty D is a season ticket holder of the Milwaukee Bucks. Dirty D loves the Milwaukee Bucks, and this is what a lot of us, this is a sport, and we're fanatics of this team, but this team means everything to us. Giannis means everything to us. He really does.
Yeah.
And seeing somebody who made such a huge impact into our community, seeing this team, seeing this man who helped build this arena, helped get a lot of fans to come around here and support this team, to see him go, to know that the party is going to be over, is gut-wrenching for so many people.
You're saying goodbye, Kyle. You're saying goodbye. We all have those moments, or maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a child. The car is packed. The suitcase is in the trunk. You see them just drive off into that sunset, and you're just wondering, I don't know if they'll ever come back and visit. Well, sad feeling.
It is a sad feeling, and I remember back in 2001 when I was light it up, Ray Allen, light it up, Sam Cassell, light it up, Big Dog,
light it up.
And who's going to win it?
The Bucks. And
we never won it.
No.
And then it took another 15 years for us to be relevant again.
Yeah. And I remember that year 2000 as thinking to myself, it can't get any better than this. It can't get any better than this.
Yeah, you talked about the 3-point. I was at Game 6 where Ray Allen, I believe, hit 8 or 9 threes in the playoff game. Me and my brother were there. My mom and dad bought us tickets, sitting in the lower level, watched that game. I was going crazy. I'm like, my Bucks are winning the championship. They actually swept the Lakers that year during the regular season.
Did they really?
They sure did. So I was excited. I said, well, we swept them during the regular season.
Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Allen Iverson.
AI and
I don't think the Bucks were going to beat the Lakers again, though.
We'll never know because of Tim Donahue. 800-990-3776. We're reacting to the Giannis news that Giannis, Strofe believes he's requested a trade. I believe the Bucks leaked it to Shams, saying that they were listening to offers. All we know that there could be. Thank you, my brother and I. Thank you, Stevie Sports Car. There could be an end to the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis relationship. Alan in Milwaukee. What's up, Alan? How you doing?
Hey, how y'all doing, man?
What's up, Alan?
Doing all right.
Hey, on one hand, maybe his wife is pregnant and they need more than a condo. Maybe that's what they're talking about. They need
he has a house. He got a big old house.
But for real though, I think what we need is the owner to walk in with 7 or 8 fingers, point, and say, "These guys are fired. These guys are cut, gone out of there." Because the thing that is, on the other side of this is Giannis was the perfect kind of person to be here for a long period of time. With Giannis gone, we stand a high chance of going back to being, that non-destination for a lot of people, even if we draft somebody high. But this kind of, new age player that's out there, these tend to be 5 years and gone guys, especially if they're not winning championships or if they can, get, I don't want to say teamed up with somebody else, but essentially Milwaukee would end up having to do a lot in order to keep and attract talent. But, Giannis was that perfect guy to be here to do that.
Alan makes a good point. I mean, Giannis was literally the perfect superstar for Milwaukee. He seemingly had no desire to go to the big market. That is a rarity, especially in the NBA. And I just wonder now, I mean, you've got AAU kids that are groomed from a young age. You got NIL, so you got these guys making $1 to $5 million a year in college. So they already know what it's like to get the bag. So when they come to Milwaukee, they've already made several $1 million. Why would they want to stay just for a slightly more super contract? And they're coming out earlier. So they're 19. By the time they hit their low 20s, they're ready to get paid again. They had a long career ahead of them. Milwaukee's just not built for the type of place to have a superstar be attracted to or stay. That's why Giannis was just so unique.
Well, we've been talking about the fact that Giannis and the Bucks may be heading towards a divorce, as reports from Shams says that Giannis is ready for a new home at the February 5th NBA trade deadline or in the offseason as several rival teams make aggressive offers to the Milwaukee Bucks for him, and the franchise is starting to listen to offers according to Shams. But let's look to some more brighter news. Now, Brad, I need Hear Brad out to be good. It's too much bad news. It's too much negativity here today. Brad, are you going to come through for KBN Nation?
It's a great one, boys. It's a great one. An all-timer.
All right. Well, we will hear how good Hear Brad Out is coming up next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
So in my short time here, I've come to learn about these things I call them Strofe days, where he's doing something for himself, and then he just wipes his calendar, regardless of how it may affect other people.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Eastbound on 94, starting off with an accident right at the ramp from 35th Street, off on the right shoulder. So watch out for that. The westbound side's actually a lot heavier. We've got delays from about 20th Street all the way to Hawley Road. The eastbound's just backed up a bit from 76th Street all the way to about 70th. The rest of the system is actually looking pretty good, although we do have a bunch of broken down vehicles, but they're all out of traffic. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 1 below. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, snow showers later on, a high of 11. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Appliance savings are happening now at the Home Depot with up to $1,000 off, plus up to an extra $500 off select appliances. Looking to upgrade your fridge? Check out LG's newest models serving up ice in all kinds of styles: cubed, crushed, craft ice, and now new mini craft ice straight from the dispenser. Shop savings and get up to $1,000 off, plus free delivery on select appliances like LG at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Free delivery on appliance purchases of $999 or more. Offer valid January 8th through the 28th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
When it comes to game day, you play to win. And when it's go time, it's Total Wine time. With the lowest prices on your go-to lineup of spirits, beers, seltzers, and wines that'll turn your kitchen counter into the ultimate home tailgate. Total Wine is your home field advantage. Our team will go the extra yard to get you ready for the big game. We've got what you need to tackle game day and every day, only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
This is Monster Jam Freestyle Mania, presented by Spin Master. Monster Jam trucks team up with FMX bikes for the ultimate freestyle experience. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the teams, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks and bikes up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Fiserv Forum this weekend.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, this is Jason Wilde from Wilde & Towns. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Racine Danish Kringles has you covered with their heart-shaped Kringle. You know my family loves Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles, and sometimes they share it with me. Racine Danish Kringles offers a heart-shaped Kringle with pink icing in raspberry, chocolate silk cherry, and pecan flavors to send to your loved one. Order at Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle Brust Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. We have been talking about the breaking news. Giannis is ready for a new home, and the Bucks are listening to offers for Giannis. Unbelievable that the greatest player in franchise history may be on his way out of Milwaukee.
This is breaking Bucks news on ESPN Milwaukee. The Bucks are taking offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
All right, thanks, Strofe. It was
okay.
Yeah, that was
That was invasive.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
A little shocking.
Yeah. Now that Ben's not here and we're more kind of connected to Strofe, because typically when Ben's here, we're not as connected to Strofe. We just chat in his ear. I see the frustration, but we can talk about that a little bit later, because now it's time to hear Brad out.
Different level of frustration.
They say punters are people too.
Punters are worthy of breaking news.
No, really, that's what they say.
Raising awareness everywhere that punters are people too.
Okay, let's go to it. Time to hear from the punter. Time to hear Brad out.
All right, guys. Something's been on my mind, and I've been a victim lately. And I need to bring this to the forefront. I need societal change when it comes to something, and that is nothing other than group text messages. That's right, group text messages have become a new societal pariah. The reality is, technology advances, it creates opportunities for us, but society can't catch up. There's so many issues that occur in group text messages. I'm going to make sure that they're fixed. I'm going to tell you exactly how, because we've all been there, right? We've been a part of a group text message. Maybe we didn't even want to be a part of it. And before you know it, you got 45 notifications. It's a lawless area with an avalanche of notifications. So I am here to fix group text messages so we can all do what it's supposed to do. Connect us, let us enjoy each other, make it an easy shortcut, but not be an avalanche of notifications. So I got 4 things that are all going to improve group text messages. Number 1, Gone are the days where you just receive a text message and you're just in it, right? We've all been there, right? You receive a text message, you open it up. Whoa. I guess I'm just in a new text message with 12 other people. You get to opt in to the text message. When it comes, it says, would you like to be a part of this group text message with A, B, C, D, E, F, and G? You can say yes or you can say no. And not only that, whenever you want to leave, you can just go ahead and leave, and it's not announced in the group message. Kyle, I don't know if your Android does this, but we know that iPhone, it says Brad Nortman leaves the message thread. Oh, with that, there's so much criticism and judgment.
Oh, I know where this came from.
I want to be able to leave.
Where this came
I
from.
want to be able to leave without judgment. I just want to be able to vanish. That's number one. Opt in, and you can just leave without a notification. Number two, there's got to be a group message commissioner. That's right. Somebody is selected to have a higher degree of authority in the group text message. It is a group commissioner. Right now, there's no rules. There's no leadership. I envision the text message commissioner being able to have member approval authority. He can hand out suspensions. He or she can give 24-hour mutes, freeze the chat completely, even expulsions if you feel like someone has gone too far. There's got to be a commissioner. There's got to be rules. There's got to be a leader, if not just the wild, wild west. A group chat commissioner. Number three, there's got to be a maximum of text sent per day. It's too much. Some people are blowing it up, sending 10, 20, 15 texts per day. No. You get 5 texts per day and you get 1 GIF. 5 texts, 1 GIF. There's no reason you should be doing more than that. And finally, we've all been there. I said before, you open up your phone, you have 45 notifications. Holy cow, I don't have time to be able to go through and read all of that. AI, Kyle, and Strofe, it's so smart nowadays. You know what a feature, when they come up with these software updates, I want an AI feature that when you open it up, it just gives you a headline of what you missed. It could be, hey, plans were changed. Dinner's at 6:30 at the 3rd Street Market Hall. Or it could be, you know what? You just missed Kyle's funny comment. That was the highlight. Or it could be, your friends are dumb. You didn't miss anything. So those 4 things, these will improve group chat messages, which needs a rebranding, and they need more rules. You get to opt in, and you can also leave the group. You can just vanish. That means freedom. Commissioner, that means control. A text cap, that means restraint. And an AI summary is mercy for everybody in the group. What do you guys say? What do you think my changes to group chat text messages?
Well, first and foremost, if you don't want to be in a part of a group chat, all you got to do is just delete the chat.
But it keeps on popping up.
Or you can block it.
It's too far. Blocking.
Leave the group.
But then you get judged for it.
Well, just block it. Just block it.
Brad Nortman left the group,
put it on. Why don't you put it on mute?
But sometimes some groups you want to be a part of. Like, I want to be a part of our KBN chat, but sometimes it becomes too much.
No,
so I need like a break, or I need some leadership, or I need a max per day.
And also,
all things that I've just spelled out.
And also, I don't know if you know this or not, Brad, but your AI, like, there was a text message that we got from Jesse Nelson today that I had no idea what they were talking about.
I had no idea what they were talking about.
You know, my phone, all I can do, I can just hold the button, and all I got to do is tell it to summarize my messages, and it will summarize the messages for me.
So what did it tell you when you asked it to summarize? Did you get anything further from it?
Well, you talk, you guys react, and I'll tell you exactly what it says about the text message.
So you're telling me if you get 45 text messages, you can say summarize the last 45 text messages.
I don't know if that's a thing on Apple, but I know it's a thing on Android.
Wow. Well,
I know Kyle
Apple new software update. Give me that AI update, please.
Now, Strofe, there was these text messages that we had. I have not read them because they didn't make sense to me.
Okay.
And my AI says, top messages, it says the one that, we are here at Mr. SPHQ and are vetoing delegating your work 2 days in a row. I don't know what that means.
That's what the text message
so
said.
For those of you that may have missed it, I wrote the Wilde and Tausch trivia questions today because it's Wisconsin Geography Wednesday. Jesse's heading to Stevens Point. That's my alma mater. That's where I went to college. Apparently, I didn't follow the Wilde and Tausch jokes. I didn't make a joke answer, and one of the questions I had AI write was factually incorrect.
Oh, my God.
And so Jesse delegated his work 2 hours prior to the show today to me.
And it failed.
And then apparently I did so poorly that he tried to delegate his work to me again tomorrow, which I declined.
Oh, yeah, it says
Good for you to put down.
unnamed sender tells the recipient that Mr. SPHQ is rejecting their attempt to delegate their work for a second day in a row. They acknowledge that the recipient gave more than 2 hours notice this time, but they are still declining to take the task. The jab. That's what it says, the jab. Jesse Nelson follows up with a sarcastic comment mocking the recipient's nickname, Mr. Stevens Point,
This
in
AI
a quality of
summary is
work.
longer than the
Jesse
text
finds it
messages.
weird that someone representing their happiest place on earth needs so much prep time.
Okay,
It literally
figure out
just
the bugs, 'cause
rephrased your text messages. That's all it
Literally,
did.
that summary is longer than the combination of the two text
Here's the
messages.
key takeaway. The group seems to be calling out the recipient for trying to dodge their trivia duties, with Jesse specifically attacking the quality and accuracy of the recipient's previous contributions. Would you like me to help draft a witty comeback to Jesse Nelson?
Yes, I would like you to do that. I would like you to do that.
All right.
And just send it. Just send whatever you think, Google.
Option one, if the questions were so simple, you wouldn't be so worked up about them. I'm just giving you guys a chance to catch up to my level. You're welcome.
Send it.
Or option two, it's not wrong just because you didn't know the answer, Jesse. Maybe spend less time critiquing my delegation skills and more time brushing up on your Stevens point.
Say I want it even more spicy.
Here's self-aware. Mr. Stevens Point never reveals the sources of his effort levels. That sucked. The first one. I don't even know what I'm responding to.
That was a horrible AI summary.
Yeah,
Horrible.
that didn't help Brad's idea.
No.
Yeah, Brad, your
I
idea
want it more
sucks.
dialed in.
Your idea sucks.
Opt in, opt out, vanish, commissioner of the group text messages.
That's so much work.
Text cap and AI summary.
Brad, can I ask you where this came from? Did it come from maybe getting a message at 7 o'clock in the morning yesterday?
No, I'm in like legitimately 5 group messages right now that I'm getting blown up with. I think we need some rules.
Why don't you
It includes this text message.
Diana and McWanago just chimed in on the Cardinals text line, 800-990-3776, and just said, Jesse Nelson is a joke.
He is very funny. He is very funny.
First of all, why you guys all got to put Jesse Nelson on the air? His voice is so annoying.
Someone who's not annoying and someone who, for some reason, likes to hear Brad out. Rob Demovsky joins us next. We'll talk a little Packers because there's some news stewing about who the OC will be in Green Bay next year. Keep it locked. We have Rob Demovsky from ESPN joining us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
He's my sugar daddy.
Well, I need a sugar daddy. There's a wedding coming up this summer, and maybe I need the sugar daddy to be at.
Oh, man.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Eastbound on 94, starting off with an accident right at the ramp from 35th Street, off on the right shoulder. So watch out for that. The westbound side's actually a lot heavier. We've got delays from about 20th Street all the way to Hawley Road. The eastbound's just backed up a bit from 76th Street all the way to about 70th. The rest of the system is actually looking pretty good, although we do have a bunch of broken down vehicles, but they're all out of traffic. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast, tonight partly cloudy skies, a low of 1 below. Tomorrow mostly sunny, snow showers later on, a high of 11. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free, and 0% financing for 60 months, $1,000 off, plus a bonus vacation voucher. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
And ESPN Radio Extra Points with Chris Canty.
If I know that there's going to be bad weather rolling in, then I'm trying to take as many points as I can as quick as I can. If the weather was going to be what it was in the first half, in the second half, I get it. Plenty of opportunities to get back in this game. But that wasn't going to be the case. You had a blizzard coming in. So weather was a huge factor in the second half. If I know that's going to be the case, then take the damn field goal. Take the points. Mm-hmm. You got momentum, keep momentum. You got a backup quarterback. Play it a little more down the middle. The aggressive play that you needed to hit, you already got, which was the 50-yard completion. with Marvin Mims in one-on-one coverage against Christian Gonzalez. It surprised everybody in the damn stadium, including Christian Gonzalez. I don't understand why Sean wasn't more conservative in kicking the field goal in that moment. It just didn't make any sense.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
From 30 for 30 Podcasts.
Ryan Pata, senior defensive lineman from Miami, gunned down.
The key to this case, it's Ryan. An hour before he died, he was on the phone arguing with somebody.
This might be a hit.
You want the truth. They just want a conviction.
Being placed under arrest.
We had a killer amongst us.
Murder at the U, coming soon.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
There are certain organizations that can't get certain positions right. The Bears can't get a quarterback.
Bold, bald, beautiful.
I'm one small, bald man.
ESPN NFL Nation reporter Rob Demovsky.
To me, their window is now wide open.
On Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
The bold, and the beautiful Rob Demovsky joins us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Again, only Brad and I today, Rob. Ben is out gallivanting, and Lord knows where. How you doing today, Rob?
Good. I've been listening. About the last half hour as I'm running around. So,
Rob, what do you think? What do you think of the group text message etiquettes that I'm putting out there?
Yeah, I like most of them. I like. I'm in way too many group texts, including some that most of my friends know during a Packers game. Don't text me about the Packers. Like, don't text me, what is LaFleur thinking? Or why don't they, like most of them. But there's one group chat that I am in that still does it. And I'm like, dude, like, I'm trying to work here, man. And I'm one of those people, Brad, that has to clear notifications. Like, I can't stand to look at my phone.
I'm right there with you, Rob.
And see 47 messages. Like, that gives me anxiety. So I'm like, geez, man, like, what are we doing here? So I wish there was a better way. That said, I also do enjoy some of my group texts. So I do. And also about the leaving group chats. Sometimes I want it known that I'm out of here. I want to know I'm done with you people. So, but in general, I think you're on. I think you're on to something there. I definitely think you're on to something.
My man.
Of course, Rob loves what Brad has to say. Rob, before we get into the Packers, since you were listening, I mean, you've been here long enough. Have you developed some type of love for the Bucs and attachment to Giannis in this state?
Yeah, so I am the classic bandwagon fan when it comes to Wisconsin sports. I didn't grow up here, but I've lived here for like 29 years. And so when the Brewers are good, man, I'm watching them all the time. And when they're not, it doesn't bother me at all. Same with the Bucs, same with the Badgers. It doesn't bother me when they're bad, and I just kind of turn it off. But when they're good, I'm on the bandwagon. So the whole Giannis thing is interesting. I'm not defending any reporting just because I work at ESPN, but everyone for months now has tried to, discount Shams. I don't know Shams at all, but tried to say, these are bogus reports. He's just trying to stir up trouble. There has to be something to it, right? There has to be, there had to have been some legit issues here with with Giannis wanting out and all that. Like and I don't want anything bad to happen to any of the franchises that people around here root for. But I almost want it to happen so that everyone backs off the Shams as ripping his credibility. I've heard that on other talk shows and other stations.
I've supported his credibility, but I do not want him to be proven correct at the expense of my fanhood. I get it, because I agree. At the end of the day, the ESPN is going to vet everything. They're not just going to release something just to release it. They clearly had a source 100%. That was credible, because that is a credible, established organization at ESPN is. They're not just going to let people release stuff because they want to drum up some drama. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think there's clear fire with Giannis. Yeah. Giannis said it himself last week in Atlanta that he's taking it day by day. That should be enough to let people know that the Bucks may be moving on from Giannis. Now, speaking of moving on from some folks, Rob, I heard you join Jen, Gabe, and Chewy earlier this week, and you said that now that they have the DC thing figured out, the position with Jonathan Gannon, you also mentioned that they're trying to sort out what they're going to do on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, everybody I talked to over there, Kyle, is I asked, any other changes coming? And I always get the same answer. They're still working through it, which tells me that there could be. I'm not saying that there for sure is. I also asked somebody if I said, is LaFleur just kind of waiting to see if other guys get jobs before he fires anybody? And that question has been met with silence on most occasions. So, it didn't tell me anything for sure, but it did tell me that it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. So I can't sit here and report, they're going to have a new this coach or a new that coach. But at this point, I don't think anything's off the table.
Rob, I asked this because Strofe and Kyle are horrible movie watchers, and they don't get any of the quotes we say. Have you ever seen the comedy movie from the 90s, Office Space?
Yeah, I have. And actually, I'm not super well versed in it, but the guy, Gary, the actor's name is Gary Cole. He plays he's the dude with the glasses, plays the boss in The Office. He went to my high school.
No way.
Now he's old. He's quite a bit older than me, I believe.
He's a pretty legit actor.
Well, he's good. But I definitely am familiar with the movie, but not to the point where I am with, say, Fletch or Airplane or Vacation or Bull Durham or even When Harry Met Sally or Goodfellas, and I could recite the whole movie with the sound on mute. I'm not to that.
Well, there's a funny part in it. They're going through a corporate restructuring, and they're interviewing people trying to figure out what value they add. And there's a funny scene where they say, what is it exactly that you do here? And I just wonder that with Steno and the OC, because I'm wondering, Matt LaFleur calls the plays. He's the head of the offense. What is it exactly that the offensive coordinator does in Green Bay?
Yeah, it's a great question. And it's been this way pretty much most of the time that I've covered this team, other than the Ray Rhodes year and other than the brief period in 2015 where McCarthy gave up play calling for 3/4 of the season. For the most part, in my 29 years around this team, the offensive coordinator has not been the play caller. And from what I can tell, the offensive coordinator takes a big role in the early week game planning stuff. So if LaFleur has other things he needs to attend to, Steno is putting together, his thoughts on the upcoming opponent, what might work, what might not work, certain schemes and ideas that would be good to attack the team they're playing. And then as the week goes on, just becomes more involved with, meeting with the quarterback when LaFleur can't and getting a feel for what the quarterback likes. And then on game day, his job is basically to be upstairs and looking at the defense from the top and seeing if he can come up with, suggestions and ideas for LaFleur for plays. But very good question. But I from the best I can tell, the answer to the question is, what do you even do around here? That I think that's the answer.
Do you think Lombardi getting fired down in Denver a day after them or 2 days after playing an AFC championship could be a sign of, if you aren't great, I can find better, and maybe the Packers may be looking to find better?
It's interesting because, if I'm not mistaken, Joe Lombardi was a similar situation, Kyle. He was a non-play calling offensive coordinator, right? There's been years where he's been, rumored that the Packers were interested. Heck, I believe, did he check me on this, but I believe, did he interview for the Packers head coaching job when LaFleur got hired in 2019? I feel like him and another guy from New Orleans at the time, Pete Carmichael, might have interviewed for the job. Now, your question is, I assume, would the Packers entertain the idea of having him as offensive coordinator? Is that where?
No, I'm just saying, is there some type of level of encouragement Matt LaFleur should get of if guys aren't excelling at an excellent level, at a high level, I can move on from them despite, I mean, their offense was good. It was better than the Packers offense this year. But, I mean, is it kind of a sign that you can always be looking to get better?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. If you're looking at the Saints offense, does Joe Lombardi get fired if Bo Nix doesn't break his ankle or whatever? I mean, like, it just, I don't know. Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. Him and Peyton have been together for a long, long time. But, I just think it's different philosophies. Like, what we've learned from Matt LaFleur in 7 years is that he's not quick to move on from coaches and not quick to make changes. So the Packers certainly knew that when they gave him his contract extension. So, I know everybody was asking, were they negotiating about making him make staff changes? I don't think that was the case. Now, could he be waiting to see if Steno or Luke Butkus or whoever gets a job so he doesn't have to fire him? I mean, sure, that's possible. I don't necessarily think that's the greatest way to go about things, but it's possible that he could be doing that.
We are being joined by Rob Demovsky of ESPN. Rob is here on Kyle, Brust Nortman as he joins us every Wednesday at 3:30. Brad.
Rob, I know that this is a little bit old now, but I just want your perspective on it for our audience. The Packers hired Jonathan Gannon as D coordinator. What should we expect from a guy like Jonathan Gannon? Because we've seen kind of a lot in Joe Barry and Jeff Hafley, very different approaches and personalities. What should we expect out of Jonathan Gannon?
Yeah, from the people I've talked to, it's definitely not the exact same scheme as what Jeff Hafley ran. He does do a little bit more with his fronts. I mean, he's even played 5-man fronts at times, so it's a little bit different. Yeah, right. Is that right?
That's what he calls it.
Yeah. The Packers used to use an Okie package as well under Dom Capers, I think. So it's not exactly the same, but there's definitely some similarities in philosophy and how you use guys. With really good players, he was a really good defensive coordinator for the couple of years he was in Philadelphia. He sees the game from the back end forward, just like Jeff Hafley did. He comes from a defensive background, which I think LaFleur likes. But there's going to be some adjustment period. There's going to be some growing pains. That happens when you make when change happens like this. So, as for, what happened with him in Arizona, I just don't know. His record obviously was terrible. Does that mean he wasn't a good defensive coach there, or he just wasn't a good head coach? Like, that's probably, I would lean toward the latter, but, his history and his brief, the 2 years as a defensive coordinator in Philadelphia, is pretty good, but he also had really good players.
That is very, very true. Now, Rob, maybe you can put this all to rest. Why couldn't the Packers wait for Jimmy Leonard? Was it that we weren't just Jimmy Leonard's number one destination?
It's a great question. The best I can tell, Kyle, is the Packers thought that if they waited, they might lose out on Gannon, and it wasn't worth waiting for. That's the best case. That's the best information that I can come up with. The Packers were under the impression that other teams were going to be interested in Jonathan Gannon, and they felt like they couldn't wait. From what I was told, I believe they interviewed him on, I believe it was last week, Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, 23rd, 24th. Is that accurate?
That's right. The 24th was Saturday, so maybe it was Friday, Saturday. And, whether there's sometimes teams are fed lines and made, hey, if you don't hire this guy, somebody will. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it isn't. But it sounds like the Packers were genuinely concerned that if they didn't hire Gannon, they would lose him. And maybe they weren't 100% sure, even if Jimmy Leonard would take the job. I don't know that for sure, other than I know there was mutual interest. But obviously they felt like they couldn't wait.
Rob, Bobby Babich hired as the secondary coach for the Packers today. He was the DC in Buffalo. Yep. And Rob, to age me, when I was in Carolina, he was like the GA. He was like the guy that was like very low of the totem pole, high energy guy. I liked him. I liked him a lot, but it was crazy because he was like running the scout team. Now he's part of the Green Bay Packers. So between him, Jonathan Gannon, DeMarcus Covington. You got three guys that were defensive coordinators at one part in their career. Is it possible that this staff will actually be better than the staff from the previous years under Hafley? It's a lot of good minds altogether.
It is. And, I think basically, last year's staff was a little on the younger, inexperienced side. Covington was the only guy who had been a coordinator before. Now you add one in Babich. But I will say this, Ryan Downard, who's leaving to go to Miami or has left to go to Miami as a secondary coach. He's a really good, really well thought of young coach. So that was definitely a loss. But Babich is an interesting guy because, he interviewed for the coordinator job here 2 years ago. And then, he was with Buffalo as an assistant. And then they made him the coordinator in Buffalo for the last 2 years. His dad is a longtime coach. I believe he was with the Bears for quite a while. Also a former college head coach. So this is a guy who's been around the game his entire life. Those are guys that I think coaches love to have those kind of coaches on their staff. I don't know Babich personally, but I've heard really good things.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm excited about that hire. Very, very excited. Rob, thank you so much for joining us here on Kyle Brust Nortman.
Thanks, Rob.
You got it, guys. We'll see you.
Well, Wisconsin sports fans, you need to listen to this because Luke Bryan is bringing the Word on the Street tour to Alpine Valley on Saturday, September 26th, and we've got your way in. And we're giving away 4 tickets. That's right, 4 tickets to see Luke Bryan live with Drew Baldridge, Lauren Watkins, and Ray Lynn. Keep listening for your chance to win before tickets to go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. But we are giving away 4 tickets now. So if you want to call in to get your tickets to see Luke Bryan in Alpine Vallly, call now. Caller 24 because it's the 24th season of American Idol. And Luke Bryan is, of course, a judge on it. Call 800-990-3776. 800-990-3776. The Carbless Talking text line. Be caller 24, and you will win those Luke Bryan tickets. So light those phones up for Strofe and get you your free Luke Bryan tickets. 800-990-3776.
You heard the man. Call in and win them tickets. We'll have more next.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman.
Here's the worst thing that happened about Brad Nortman producing Kyle Brust Nortman, and is Kyle, you know what's going to happen? He's going to have so much softness in his heart for producers.
I lost the guy.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
I'm going to tell you this, there will be more scrutiny, so I think he better get off to a fast start.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Because I can already picture whomever we play right out of the gates. And I got a hunch the old Fire Gannon hashtags are going to be warmed up and ready to go if things don't start well. He is not going to have a ton of built-in grace at that position.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Rock a big win this January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $60,000 in prizes every week. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Plus, your January drawing entries all roll into an even bigger prize drawing in March. Rock on all month long, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Get ready for the ultimate freestyle experience. Monster Jam Freestyle Mania, presented by Spin Master. For the first time ever, Monster Jam trucks team up with freestyle motocross bikes to deliver gravity-defying skills and thrills. See one-of-a-kind FMX bikes designed to match your favorite iconic Monster Jam trucks. Cheer on your favorite team. 2 times the freestyle action, full send family fun. Coming to Fiserv Forum this weekend. Brought to you by B80 Tires. Visit monsterjam.com.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms.
Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Selling your home during winter may surprise you. Serious buyers are still out there and often more eager to move.
Homes get strong offers this time of year, and with less competition, your listing can really shine.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. Our team leads with faith, gratitude, and giving back, donating over $200,000 to local causes since 2020.
Tony Wendorf & Associates is ready to get to work for you with our white glove selling experience. Just search online, Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you. With 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
This is Kyle Brust Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Oh, an ice-cold carbless will be waiting for me at home. That's the way I'm going to lick my wounds with this whole Giannis likely being traded thing. And there's so much to look forward to when I crack open that carbless, because inside is 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten, 100 calories, and the perfect level of carbonation. It's that real cocktail taste with no guilt. Not only that, there's flavors for everybody. Margaritas, that's the OG. That's the one I fell in love with, carbless. But the Blood Orange 4-pack has earned its own exclusivity. I got that stacked up in the Nortman household. I'm going to go home and drink some Blood Orange carbless, because why not? It's Wednesday. We're saying goodbye to Giannis, most likely. And there's always an occasion for an ice-cold carbless. Less is more with carbless.
800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line, where less is more. And this is Kyle Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. And we've been talking about the fact that Giannis may be leaving the Bucks. It may finally be real. It may finally be happening. All the rumors, all of the talk, all the people denying that this is going to be true. Finally, we may have a resolution, as Shams has reported, that Giannis is open to playing in a new home, and the Bucks are listening to offers for our franchise player and Giannis, and it has sent everybody wondering, what's next for the Bucks? What should we be looking for when it comes to moving on from him? Do we do right by Giannis, or do we get the most we can? That is something that I want to explore when we come back on the other side. Coming up next on ESPN Madison, you have Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN Madison. You have the Damn Sports Show coming up on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. And we will continue talking Giannis trade. We'll also be joined by unsportsmanlike Evan Cohen. He'll join, and I'm sure he'll have a lot of hypothetical situations. So get a pen and paper out and get ready to hear all the hypothetical trade scenarios of where Giannis could be going next. But keep it locked. We'll have more of Kyle Brust Nortman right here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
The show that never ends.
Well, we have this accident, 894 southbound, just past Greenfield Avenue. It is off on the right shoulder, so that's something to keep your eyes open for. Otherwise, southbound to eastbound through the Hale interchange going to be a bit tight, all the way to about Forest Home. Westbound's backed up out of the Mitchell interchange past Loomis. Southbound 43, watch for backups from about North Avenue, and that stretches all the way down to the KK River crossing. Westbound 94, heavy from about 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound from 84th Street to Holly Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 1 below. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, snow showers later on, a high of 11. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune into Kyle, Brust Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The 414 Hour on KBN is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. Looking for new windows, siding, roof, and doors? Visit them at sidingunlimited.com.
It's the 414 Hour at 4 on KBN. That was for you, Giannis.
414. Yeah.
414.
Okay.
414.
He loves the
414.
He don't want to leave.
414.
But he's being pushed.
414.
Ben is going to be very confused when we start doing that tomorrow.
Oh, Ben won't be in studio tomorrow, so he'll be all right.
Yeah, but he's still going to hear us do it for the first time.
How annoyed is he going to be tomorrow?
414.
Yeah.
414.
Yeah, maybe we should do that for Giannis, and maybe he'll stay.
Yeah. Maybe you want to leave quicker.
Yeah, it might be the latter.
It is Kyle, Brust Nortman here on ESPN Milwaukee. 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, also streaming live on YouTube. That is ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Make sure y'all give us a like, a share, and a subscribe so you don't miss any of your favorite award-winning ESPN Milwaukee shows. No Ben Brust today, but I'm Kyle Walls. He's Brad Nortman, and that is Alex Strofe holding it down. And we've been talking about the breaking news of Giannis being open to a new home, and the Bucks listening to offers for Giannis. This is breaking news because this is the first time since Giannis has been a Buck that the Bucks are actually open to moving on from him and listening to offers from other teams. Now, there was a report back this summer that the New York Knicks had an offer in for Giannis, but the Bucks turned it down. Something that changes when it comes to that offer is the fact that Mikal Bridges got a contract extension during the summertime. He wasn't eligible to be traded at that time. He's eligible to be traded now. He might be a piece that could be coming back to Milwaukee if Giannis potentially gets what some would say would be his preferred destination, which leads me to ask you, KBN Nation, when it comes to trading Giannis, should we do right by Giannis and trade him to one of his preferred destinations? Or should the Bucks be all about getting the most that they can get for him?
Well, the short answer is the Bucks need to squeeze as much as they possibly can out of it. This is the only time you'll ever have this amount of leverage, and this is, let's call it what it is. This is an organizational reset, and you're going to figure out how much, dry powder you have to be able to reset. So you got to get as much as you can out of it. Now, the tricky part is the Bucks could say, "Hey, Giannis, we're going to trade you to Washington, the Washington Wizards." And he'd say, Washington Wizards, I will not sign an extension with you. So, you know what? You can trade me there, but I ain't signing an extension with you. So therefore, they'd be like, well, then it doesn't really make sense for us to trade for him. So there is a little bit of like you guys know what a Venn diagram is? You guys know what a Venn diagram? Have you ever heard of that? A Venn diagram? Let me draw a picture of a Venn diagram for you.
Okay, thanks.
Imagine
Remind
two
me, Brad.
circles. Imagine two circles, and they intersect.
Yes, I've seen that before.
That
Here we go
intersection.
again.
Yes, it's usually some of the commonalities, right?
Yes, the commonalities. The intersection of Venn diagram.
That's what that was.
And that's what that is. So there's going to be Giannis.
Yes.
And there's going to be the Bucks.
Got it.
And that's what it's going to look like. And that's what the trade's going to have to end up being. It's going to have to be a little bit of where Giannis wants to go there and is willing to sign an extension. And then that team will then be willing to give up a lot of compensation to the Bucks to do that. The question is, if Giannis says, like, who knows? I'm just making this up. I only want to play for the Knicks. I only want to play for, Oklahoma City Thunder. Well, then the Milwaukee Bucks literally has to say, dude, we can't just take you to only one destination. You give us 5 teams and we can shop for the best offer. That is at least a little bit of a commonality. But if push comes to shove and Giannis really wants to go to New York, but I guess I'd go to Oklahoma City, and Oklahoma City gives you the most, you absolutely take that. You don't worry about doing 100% right by Giannis. This is your only opportunity for a big reset.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Brad, but I'm a shift it a little bit because five teams, no. I'm going to tell Giannis straight up that we're going to trade you to a competitive team, but we're not going to sit here and not get the most that we can for you. See what Desmond Bane netted the Memphis Grizzlies. Listen, we need to get that.
Desmond Bane.
We need to get more than that. So Giannis, we're willing to trade you. We're willing to move on from you, but there's going to be some flexibility that you need to have. And so either A, we're going to take all the young talent that team has, or B, we're going to take all the draft assets that team has. We're not going to take the number one player, like you're talking about the Spurs. We're not going to take Victor Wembanyama. We're not going to take him away from you. If you talk about the Knicks, we're not going to take away Jalen Brunson, right? We're not going to take away these superstars from this team. We're going to allow you to team up with another superstar, but do understand we're going to have to get young assets and draft picks back for you. So you have to realize that we're going to put you somewhere. We're going to trade you. But we're just not going to say, all right, well, we're going to take Cad and Mikal Bridges back. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Not nearly enough.
That would not be nearly enough, and that would set the Bucks back even more. The Bucks have a prime opportunity that not many teams have. You have the opportunity to trade a generational talent type player that is still in his prime despite the injuries, which is something that, let's be honest, can we be honest? Let me be honest.
Be honest, Kyle.
Let me be honest.
Be honest.
Giannis has been hurt quite a bit the last couple of years. He has been injured. He has been hurt, and it seems to me that his body is slowly breaking down. Not saying I wouldn't trade for Giannis. Not saying I wouldn't keep Giannis. But you are probably, if you hold on to Giannis for 4 more years, Giannis, I mean, at that point his career's not over, but he's not going to be the same dominant player. And so you have a guy that is in his prime that can still lead a team to an NBA championship, and with that you have to ask for as much as you can get. Remember all the picks we gave up for Dame. Remember all the picks that we gave up for Drew. All the control. We are still suffering through it right now. It was worth it. But that is what you need to do. You said squeeze them for everything they got. Absolutely. If I am John Horst, which he should not have a say in this next decision, but if he gets traded by the deadline, he will. I am asking for at least 4 first-round picks. I am asking for at least 2 pick swaps. And I am asking for one really, really, really talented young player, and then another young, talented role player that can be like a 3 or 4 on the team. If you aren't getting at least one future potential superstar, another solid role player that can average 12 to 15 points per game, and if you ain't getting a boatload of draft picks that may not be that team's draft picks, some other teams are going to suck, then you're not doing us justice. Because the Bucks need to make sure when you look at from 2026 draft until the 2032 draft, in that 6-year window, the Bucks need to have multiple draft picks, and they need to bring in multiple assets, because what those assets allow you to do, if the Bucks strike big, right, in the next 2-3 drafts, by 2028, the Bucks find their future star. Then what that does is it gives you leverage in the 2030 draft, 2031 and 2032 to have multiple picks like Oklahoma City did, to be able to move pieces around, to acquire more pieces to build a championship contender. If you want to make this a short rebuild, a short window, like I would say the Spurs basically had a pretty short rebuild. I mean, they were competitive. They weren't winning as many titles, but I mean, still within the last, I guess now it's 12, 14 years they won a title. They were still competitive. They had a couple years that they were down, and look at them now. They're back being a good organization. You want to try to follow that pathway, you need to make sure you make the right trade. Do not let Giannis dictate where he goes and what you get. You still keep the control with that.
Yeah, you're right. And there is a way you can make it work so that the pieces that Giannis can win a championship with, established veteran stars, would probably stay with the team that he's going to, and maybe gives him opportunity to contend for a championship. But if that team is giving up current and future first-round draft picks and maybe a couple young stars, it's a way that Giannis can get his best now, but the Bucks get more in the future, such that in 4 or 5 years, when Giannis is sort of like fading out of his prime, the Bucks are starting to ramp up. And you said 4 first-round draft picks. Minimum 4. But just any old draft picks won't do it. I can't have picks 16 through 30. I just can't. I need to have some lottery picks. I need some top 10, top 5 picks. I know that
you can't guarantee that without getting other picks from teams.
You can't, but there are teams that own other teams' draft picks. And sometimes some are protected, some are unprotected. We're kind of getting deep into the NBA weeds here. But I don't want Oklahoma City's their own first round draft pick. I don't want that. So if I'm getting late picks in the first round, we've already seen that story. We've already seen what John Horst does in those selections. We're going to be left with a trash team and no Giannis. I need some can't miss top 10 talent, at least one, Kyle. And especially in this upcoming draft when NBA executives are saying Cooper Flagg, the unquestionable number 1 pick in the draft, one of the biggest draft stars in recent memory. Some people are saying he'd be anywhere from 3rd to 6th picked in this upcoming draft. So if there's ever a time to get a lottery pick, if there's ever a time to get a top 5 pick, it's this year in a draft that's awash with talent.
And listen, I love me some Giannis, and I want him to stay. But at the end of the day, you need to tell Giannis, you don't get to dictate what we're going to do here when it comes to this rebuild. John Horst needs to make sure he establishes that, because we cannot risk not getting enough for Giannis. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line as we react to the fact that Giannis, Stroh says, requested a trade. I'm not putting those words in Giannis' mouth because Giannis never requested a trade, Stroh. You do understand that, correct?
Yeah, we got a text earlier in the show we never got to. I apologize. I don't know who it was from. But Kyle, if you told baby girl you were open to a new baby girl, would that mean you're asking for divorce?
If baby girl was being a horrible partner, which she never will be and never has been, if she was being a horrible partner and I talked to her about things that she needs to fix and she needs to change and how she needs to get better, and this is a hypothetical that would never happen in my life.
Well, you're not answering the very basic question, which is if you told, and the reports were you told baby girl that you were open to another baby girl, does that mean you're asking for a divorce or not?
No, it doesn't mean I'm asking for a divorce. It means I'm asking for her to be better. It means I am now open-minded to moving on from this relationship because clearly you are not putting in the effort to be great with me. That's what it is. And we need to be very specific with the semantics of what was said. He never said he wants a new home. He said he is open to a new home. Being open means, I'm thinking about it. So at least we know that it is on Giannis's mind.
I figured it out. Kyle's in the denial stage still.
I'm not in the denial stage. I'm not. How am I in the denial stage when it comes to Giannis? I
said
admit
at the start of the show that you can't even believe it.
No, I admit that Giannis is open to leaving the Bucks, but I do believe Giannis would prefer to stay in Milwaukee. That is how I feel, is that if in a perfect world, Giannis could stay in Milwaukee.
Bad news. We don't live in a perfect world.
Well, we don't live in a perfect world, but let me tell you, John Horst could have tried to create a perfect world, but he brought in some dudes, and he did what he thought he was right, and it wasn't right.
He did take swings, which is admirable.
But you took swings for a guy like Kyle Kuzma, who what we found out is the reason why he was in Washington. He's washed at this point, right? He doesn't know how to play great team championship basketball. KPJ was not contributing to the Clippers when we got him, and he came to the Bucks, and he's a good player, but he is not a championship piece, right? Ryan Rollins maybe could be a great off-the-bench guy, but he shouldn't be a guy you are depending on. The roster that is built around Giannis just is not good enough. 800-990-3776. Someone who knows a lot of NBA basketball is Evan Cohen from UnSportsmanLike. We'll have him joining here next. Keep it locked. This is Kyle, Brust Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle, Brust Nortman.
Love you.
What?
Love you.
Love you too.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, we do have this accident, 894 southbound, just past Greenfield Avenue. It is off on the right shoulder, so that's something to keep your eyes open for. Otherwise, southbound to eastbound through the Hale interchange, going to be a bit tight all the way to about Forest Home. Westbound's backed up out of the Mitchell interchange past Loomis. Southbound 43, watch for backups from about North Avenue, and that stretches all the way down to the KK River crossing. Westbound 94, heavy from about 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound from 84th Street to Holly Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 1 below. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, snow showers later on, a high of 11. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Green and Gold have found their guy.
The Packers have hired their new defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, now the former Cardinals head coach.
And he promises to be electric. The Green Bay Packers have hired Jonathan Gannon as their new defensive coordinator.
Good.
Stay up to date with all your Packers offseason news right here. 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build-your-own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Hey, this is Jason Wilde from Wilde & Town. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Racine Danish Kringles has you covered with their heart-shaped Kringle. You know my family loves Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles, and sometimes they share it with me. Racine Danish Kringles offers a heart-shaped Kringle with pink icing and raspberry, chocolate silk, cherry, and pecan flavors to send to your loved one. Order at Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse and fun on the gaming floor where big wins wait for you. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
At Associated Bank, we know running a business is tough enough, so our business is making your business banking easy. That's why we make sure it speaks your language. Business and consumer-linked accounts? How about all your banking all in one place with one login account? $50 overdraft grace zone? Think of it as a I never said I was a CFO grace zone. And maintenance fee-free account? Well, free is always good. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman right here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Make sure you give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. I'm Kyle Wallace. With me is Bradley Nortman, longtime NFL punter, Wisconsin punting legend. No Ben Brust as he's gallivanting somewhere where we don't know. And now we're excited to be joined by Evan Cohen, host of UnSportsmanLike, that you can hear on ESPN Wisconsin 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Here, ESPN Milwaukee, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Evan, you're missing your boy Ben Brust today, huh?
No, I'm good, Kyle. Exactly as is. We're good. This feels better. This feels like we have so many great topics, and we're good to go.
Why does everybody say, every guest has said the same thing about Ben Brust? Oh, I'm happy Ben Brust is not here.
This is the reunion of KEN from the NFL draft.
Yeah.
That's right. We did have a good show. The Ken Show. I mean, it's a great show.
We had a great show.
Doll.
It was a good-looking Ken doll. But, Evan, we just got to know, what does open to a new home mean? What are they talking about? What does that mean?
Yeah, Kyle and Brad, like I saw this report, and Sham is a phenomenal reporter, as we know. And I still come back to the same thing. Me personally, not based on reporting, based on my feelings, I still do not believe Giannis gets traded. Because nowhere in that report does Sham say he has asked for a trade, right? And I think the turnaround and the assets that the Bucks would have to get in return by the trade deadline is less than what they would have in the offseason. But, and you two are the perfect people to talk to about this, my belief is that if I personally ran the Milwaukee Bucks, I would never trade him. And if he wanted to leave, he would leave, and I would not get anything in return. And I understand that that could seem like malpractice. I get that. Well, Kyle, here's the thing. Until he asks out, he's still a Buck. And if he's going to tell me he's never going to ask out, then what I have is a year and a half to convince him to never leave. Because you guys host a huge show in the state of Wisconsin, and it takes something like this for anything non-Packers, or it takes an amazing Brewers run, right? Or it takes a controversy around our school, UW-Madison, or as to who the football coach is going to be. Is it going to be Coach Fickle or whatever? It takes something of importance to infiltrate the sports fandom because the Packers are so dominant. And so I would look at this, me personally, if I ran the Milwaukee Bucks, as why am I letting my business walk out the door? Not my basketball, my business. He's the business. He's the Pfizer Forum. He is the Deer District. And I think the relationship between the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis over the course of the last decade is actually underrated in how mutually beneficial it has been to both parties and how much both parties have done everything in their power to help the other party. And until I have to say goodbye to him, why am I voluntarily doing so?
Well, then who leaked this? Like, how did this get out? Do you think this was Giannis' team? Was this the
Kyle, this is all true. This all can be true, and that it doesn't mean they have to. Like, is Giannis open?
Listening to offers, though? That is the key thing. They're listening.
Okay, right. Here. We'll listen to offers. Spurs, will you give us Wemby? No. T-Wolves, will you give us Ant-Man? No. Oklahoma City, will you give us Shea? No. All right, we listened. There's no offer we like.
So Evan,
Yeah, go
You're
ahead,
telling
Rick.
me that there's like no offer you couldn't refuse? Like take out those major NBA talents. You're telling me that if an offer was made by a team, that's an offer you couldn't refuse, you would move on from that? I guess what would that even look like? What would an offer be to Evan Cohen, GM of the Milwaukee Bucks, where you're like, okay, I can't refuse this. Giannis has got to go.
Yeah, I gave you the ones, Brad. Like, because I can't. Because you guys tell me, if you go to a Bucks game this week, are there people there?
No, it's pretty empty.
No.
Oh, really? It is empty?
Oh, it's been empty this year. It's cold and we're bandwagon fans right
Okay.
here. Let me tell you.
Let me do it differently. So, good job by you guys, bad job by me. Let me ask it differently. If I held on to Giannis, I shut him down for the rest of the year. I bottomed out this year, meaning I'm going to get a lottery pick because there's a confusion about the pick that goes out. They're going to get a lottery pick. It's either going to be their pick or the Pelicans pick, whichever is the worst of the two, and they're going to get a lottery pick. And then I start saying, because this is what I would do. You want to know my plan? I'll give you my plan. Here's my plan.
Yeah, John Horst Cohen.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't like a lot of my plans, Kyle especially. But here we go. So here's the plan for the Milwaukee Bucks if I ran the Bucks. Giannis is not playing again this season. We're getting him completely healthy. We're bottoming out. Unfortunately, and I loved this move when they made it, I am whispering out to other teams, Miles Turner is available. I believe the Lakers definitively would give you a first-round pick for Miles Turner. And that starts the bidding. So now I'm going to get a first-round pick for Miles. Okay? I have a lottery pick this year. Then I'm going to offer up Bobby Portis, who I know is rightfully so a cult hero in the state. And I'm going to see what I can get for him. Because maybe I can get a low first, a protected first. Maybe also what I would do is look for some bad contracts to get paid off to take them on. And what I would do then is actually look at those bad contracts and say, this guy on a bad deal plus a first rounder is actually better than the players we have. For example, Paul George, known as one of the worst contracts in the league right now in Philadelphia. But if I could make a deal for Paul George, which they can financially, and I could have the Sixers give me a first-round pick, and then I could trade Miles Turner somewhere else and also get a first-round pick, I've actually upgraded the talent when healthy for Giannis. I have more picks than ever, and I actually could use them to get more guys in the summer to add on. Because, again, go back to my original point. I have a year and a half to figure this out. I don't have a week. I'm not going to take the bait of this 1 week thing.
We are joined by
unless he asks out.
We are joined by Evan Cohen, host on Sportsmanlike, that you can hear on ESPN Wisconsin, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. And Evan, one thing that I get a little frustrated.
But what do you guys think? Wait. What do you guys think of the plan? Where I'm ripping off to build back up.
I like the idea of it. I wonder if Giannis has the patience for that, because you're basically doubling down on first-round draft picks that John Horst have not really had any fruit with picking. There's not one guy since Giannis that you look at and say, oh, yeah, that guy's going to be a contributor. Dante DiVincenzo was the closest, and they traded him away. So do you think...
But, Brad, my counter to that counter is I'm not making those picks. I'm actually going to use them for trades moving forward.
We've been there, done that. That's why I'm apprehensive. If I'm Giannis and I hear that, the trust factor, because the Bucks continue to take swings, and I'm not knocking the Bucks for taking swings, because the Drew Holiday was a grand slam. The Dame Lillard, that was a good move. I think that was a smart move. It just did not work out. Even trying to get Miles Turner here, who's a guy who's played in the Eastern Conference Finals and in the NBA Finals, I think it was worth trying to bring him here. I don't know about
but nobody acknowledges that. What you just said is dead on, Kyle. And Brad, your point is fair. Like, if they're going to use the picks for the picks, that hasn't worked out. But this is why I think the relationship being mutually beneficial is really important, because, Brad, you played in the NFL. How many teams were you on where you probably thought, like, God, if our GM does something, like, we are close, and then you're like, you didn't do anything here.
Yeah.
Right? The Bucks always try.
But the Bucks aren't close, and that's the problem. When you look up and down this roster, Evan, the biggest issue I have is that Giannis went from having adults in the room. And when I say adults in the room, they're all grown folks. But you're talking about Drew Holiday, who's one of the best human beings out there in the NBA. You're talking about Chris Middleton, who loved this community. He wasn't out in the clubs. He was in the gym getting better. You're talking about Brook Lopez, another family guy who had fun. Maybe he's a big Disney guy. To having, Kyle Kuzma, who we know likes to design clothes. KPJ, we know the history. So you just went from guys that were professionals that love basketball to maybe guys who aren't as dedicated. And that's what's frustrating for me, is that they had a formula of how to find success with finding pros, and they kind of got guys that have hovered around and been and bounced around to many different teams, and I don't know if they're high character guys. And if I'm Giannis, I'm looking around this locker room, then I'm looking at my coach and Doc Rivers, who is saying that Joel Embiid is the best player that he's ever coached when I'm on the team.
Kyle, everything you said is dead on. I can't argue any of that. Now let me ask the follow-up. So is he going to ask out as a result?
According to Alex Strofe, this is him asking out, being open.
It's pretty close. Is this Giannis's version of asking out, though, Evan? Like, it's not in his personality.
Brad, you've been there. I haven't. Did he ask out?
He has not used those words.
Thank you, Brad.
Okay. He has not used those words.
Woo, stay on the Giannis train.
So then, back to the original point. Kyle Wallace just gave you 10 different examples of why the centerpiece of this team should not be satisfied with what's going on. Right? Then Brad gave you a fair take of, isn't this kind of asking out? And then my follow-up was, did he ask out? And both of you said no. So that goes to my original point. Until he does, I have a year and a half to convince him otherwise.
Evan, shifting gears a little bit, I'm just curious, because we love to talk about hypotheticals. If Giannis was drafted to the New York Knicks and his career went exactly the same way, title, two-time MVP, all that, but the team had eroded to what the Bucks have now, would we still be having this conversation?
No, because I think that Giannis could walk out the door and the business continues the next day. I think Giannis in Milwaukee, with really smart people running the Bucks and the businesses around the Bucks, but just the nature of the beast in the great state of Wisconsin, would walk out the door and the business would be altered forever. The Knicks business is not based on having a generational talent. The Knicks business is based on being in New York City and having the world's most famous arena and the coolness factor around it. I believe the current version of the Bucks business was built on literally having this Greek freak who not only is an all-time great basketball player, but as Kyle alluded to with some of his ex-teammates, is one that you can proudly present front and center in any room that you are going to be in. And that is the difference here. I don't believe the business of the Bucks, even when it was Glenn Robinson or Ray Allen or Jabari Parker was like really good until he wasn't injury-wise. I didn't get the sense, even though he was relatively local, I didn't get the sense that like the business of the Bucks changed because of Jabari Parker. The business of the Milwaukee Bucks changed because of the Greek Freak. So to your question, Brad, it would be different because they could move him and the next guy would probably show up in New York. Are we confident the next guy is just going to show up in Milwaukee, unfortunately?
No, not with the way that John Horst
And I'm a New Yorker. I'm from New York.
Yeah.
But like I think the Bucks are really well run and have been for a long time, but let's be real about it.
You know who the new who's going to be the chairman, I think they call, who's the next guy in charge of operating the book?
Governor.
The governor, thank you. You know who the governor's going to be next? The governor?
Yeah, the guy who hired Todd Monken today.
So if you're worried about why we are weary what is next, it's simply because of what you just said of who is next in line to be the
Kyle.
Yes, sir.
Did we, and I know this is like a little inside business of sports,
Yeah.
but is the argument you're making in a roundabout way as we vet this out that Mark Lasry knew and got out at the right time? The former governor of the Bucks.
Yeah, I think Mark Lasry understood the tailwinds that were coming, and he decided that, you know what, let me cash out on this great this $500 million investment and let me make more of that back. He didn't put in $500 million. So, yes, he knew that one day this potentially could come.
That may be, because I saw people like Jay Crowder put out there today, former Buck and Marquette standout, of course, that the Adrian Griffin move was the turning point. Now, I don't agree with that because anyone that watched that team and anyone that was around that team would tell you they weren't clicking with him despite the record. Now, maybe Doc hasn't been a perfect hire, but I wonder if we look back. Terrible hire, you think?
Terrible hire. Terrible hire.
Yeah, I mean, the endorsement of the opponent is not always great when he's like doing in our world live reads for Joel Embiid. Not great. I mean, it's an odd one, right? But in general, I wonder if like there are moments that we could look back on and say that was a turning point. But I'm going to say this for the 8,000th time in my appearance here on KBN. I still have a year and a half to figure this out unless he asks out.
Evan Cohen, always with the great hypotheticals.
Giving a ray of hope, Kyle.
He is giving a ray of hope.
That's not a hypothetical. No, that's not a hypothetical. His contract is up after next year.
According,
it feels so risky.
It is. No.
To fast forward a year and a half and hope.
Feels. What do you mean? If we still suck next year, Giannis can walk out the door for free? Do you know how terrible the Bucks will be after that? We'll be awful. We'll be awful. I mean.
Well,
we need
not to get too technical,
yes,
but I will, of course. In order for him to walk out the door by way of free agency, he would have to go to a team that has enough salary cap room to get him. So the Bucks could potentially help facilitate a sign and trade. You will not get the players in return that you want because he will not go there if he wants them and they're in Milwaukee, but you could get something. It's not just a straight free agency walk to another team, but that forces him to say, sorry, Milwaukee, I'm leaving. Because they can always spin it as, I never asked out. They traded me. You then are forcing him to be the bad guy. If he doesn't sign the extension, he hits unrestricted free agency and he chooses to sign somewhere else. Then he is making a decision on his own to leave Milwaukee. And because he's such a good dude, if I'm the Bucks, I'm forcing him to do that.
All right, Evan Cohen, thank you. You made me think of Razor Ramon. Me, the bad guy.
Hey, yo.
You're a
Hey, yo.
guy. Yeah.
No, we had Triple H on this morning. Seth Rollins on tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Hunter Hearst Hensley. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Evan Cohen from.
And there's a big GKW event in Milwaukee this weekend. I hope we're promoting.
Best week of the year in wrestling.
Best week of the Royal Rumble. Yeah. A lot of history with that. Evan Cohen, host of Unsportsmanlike. Thank you so much for joining us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Thanks, Evan.
Thanks, guys.
You can hear Evan Cohen on Unsportsmanlike 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. weekdays on ESPN Wisconsin. Listen.
Stirring the pot. I was not expecting that from Evan.
Yeah.
I was expecting trade proposals. I was expecting all sorts of things. I was not expecting a reclamation project for the Giannis and the Bucks.
Yeah, I was blindsided by that. It's interesting because I'm about the reclamation project and the fact that sit guys down as I went through before is like, hey, who wants to be here, who doesn't want to be here, and give a plan for them. But I wasn't thinking about risking next year and potentially him walking out the door. But one thing that you don't want to walk out the door is that hot air that you got running right now inside of your house. And I have the perfect solution for you if you feel a little burr cold in your house. It is Universal Windows Direct. If you are thinking about replacing your windows, they are the perfect solution. And right now, you can buy 4 windows and get 4 free. It is one of the biggest offers they have ever done. And on top of that, peep this, KBN Nation, you can get 0% interest financing for 60 months. That is 5 whole years where you spread out the payments and you don't pay a single penny in interest. But wait, there's more. You can get $1,000 off your next project, and to get a little sum, they'll give you a vacation voucher through Destination Motivation with every purchase. That's right. You'll go from winter chills to a warm getaway all on them. Call them today at 414-410-2000 or visit them at universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows. Wheel of Strophe is next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
And you're disrupting my flow.
No, your flow.
Dang nabbit.
Dang nabbit, I had a good flow.
Gee golly willikers.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
894 southbound, still have that accident. It's off on the right shoulder just south of Greenfield Avenue. Delays are stretching back into the zoo, so keep that in mind. Eastbound 94 backing up from 84th Street all the way past 68th, almost to Hawley Road. And then we've also got westbound backing up from just before 27th Street to Hawley Road. Southbound 43 slowing down now from just before Locust, stretching all the way down past the Marquette. Then a little bit heavier from Lincoln down towards the KK River. Northbound's a little bit backed up from about Fond du Lac Avenue up and around the North Avenue curve to Locust. Traffic is brought to you by Glenroy, now hiring. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 1 below. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Snow showers later on with a high of 11. Weather's brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Another 2-man scramble tournament is underway. Play the Kapalua Plantation course for a shot at cash prizes. Must play by January 31st. Sign up now at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Rick, tell Sarah about the practical joke you came up with.
Okay, Sarah, this is really great. Are you ready?
Rick, I'm always ready. I walk around in a constant state of readiness.
A man buys a woman a pair of diamond stud earrings from Kessler's.
So far, this doesn't sound like much of a practical joke. Be patient. He's not done yet.
And then on her birthday, or Valentine's Day, or Mother's Day, or Tuesday, he sneaks them out of her jewelry box and replaces them with a larger pair.
Well, as practical jokes go, this one sounds delightful, but it also sounds expensive. No, he bought them at Kessler's, remember?
When you buy diamond stud earrings from Kessler's,
and we have them for $180 to $24,000 a pair.
You always get 100% of the price you paid when you trade up for a larger pair.
He just pays the difference?
He just pays the difference.
I love practical jokes. When do I get my first pair? For the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
This is Monster Jam Freestyle Mania, presented by Spin Master. Monster Jam trucks team up with FMX bikes for the ultimate freestyle experience. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the teams, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks and bikes up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Fiserv Forum this weekend.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We're already almost 1 month into 2026, and if you're still letting that joint pain hold you back, then QC Kinetics is the only place to be, because you're already a month through. Before you know it, you'll blink, we'll be in the summertime, and you'll be wishing that you went to QC Kinetics to get rid of that joint pain. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They've already helped 40,000 people. Think about that. 40,000 people? I mean, that's as much as you can fit into American Family Field. And all those people are enjoying their life. They're living pain-free, and they are thanking QC Kinetics for the healing power that they have at the cellular level. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime, just fast recovery, lowering inflammation, and giving you a pain-free life that you've always been looking for. The consultation, completely free, no obligation. You're going to learn a little something even just by getting the consultation. So before you say yes to anything else, make sure you say yes to QC Kinetics. Give them a call today at 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298.
It is Kyle Brust Nortman, and I'm going to say yes to the wheel of Stroke.
It's time for the
Wheel of Stroke.
All right, another day, another buckaroonie here on the Wheel of Strove.
Wheel of Strove.
I've got topics, I've got thoughts, I've got comments, I've got concerns, and hopefully you have some as well. Let's spin the Wheel of Strove. The broken wheel. Have you checked in on that yet?
Where's that expense, pal?
Let me talk to Greg Scalzo before I leave.
You've been saying that for days.
Yeah, what happens is once I get off air, I just forget. I'll message Greg now. Or should I ask Brian?
Up to you, buddy.
No, I'll ask Greg. I'll say, Greg, we need a new wheel for our show, content-wise. Boy.
Let's talk about Bill Polian. I mentioned yesterday Bill Belichick doesn't get into the Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Bill Polian initially was reported as a man that was maybe throwing some stones his way. He then backtracked that last night, saying he absolutely voted for Bill Belichick. And then today, according to Seth Wickersham, he said, quote, could not remember with 100% certainty, end quote, if he voted for him.
Time
Bill Polian doesn't remember who he voted for.
Time out.
There's only one coach you can vote for.
That means Bill Polian needs not to be voting. Bill Polian, he's 83 years old.
83.
If you can't remember who you vote, if you voted yes or no, then maybe it's time to hang it up. It's time to hang it up. This is crazy. And word got out that, because Bill Polian also said there were conversations about people maybe not voting for him because of the Spygate. There were conversations of maybe making him wait a year. Conversations actually happened about them maybe making him wait a year. And it happened.
I don't know why he just doesn't own up to it. It would make it seem like a pretty legit flex. I guess the fact that the whole sport world is thinking it's a complete travesty that he didn't get put in there. But he might as well just own it, because it looks even worse. Say, oh, yeah, for sure I voted for him. And then, I don't remember. Did I vote for him? And Bill Polian, he was the architect of the Colts. The Patriots smoked the Colts most of Peyton Manning's prime there. So I think there's a little bit of bones to pick. And you got one last clap back at Bill Belichick.
No. If he doesn't remember what he did, I don't know when they took the vote, but he doesn't remember.
He conveniently doesn't remember.
No,
Kyle.
then they need to remove that. No, remove him. Bill Polian, thank you for your service, but they need to remove him, because if you can't remember if you voted yes or no on something as important as a Hall of Fame, you don't need to be voted. It's not like they voted a year ago. They probably voted within the last month.
Couple weeks.
Come on. I don't remember. Well, I'm sure somebody has his ballot. That's ridiculous.
I'm not asking who, but do you remember who you voted for in the last presidential election?
I know everybody I've ever voted for. I regret some of my votes.
Stop the count.
Well, you can't stop a count when you don't remember if he counted or not.
That's a good point. Good point.
Wheel of Strove.
All right, here we go. Wheel of Strove. Things are breaking. I just got hit
by the
one
wheel?
of the wheel. Yeah, something just flew off. Hit me in the mouth.
I'll order
Hold
it.
on.
I'll order the wheel, and if they tell me
mouth.
they won't reimburse me, I'll just send it back.
Is it the same exact wheel?
The same exact wheel. It's $26.99. I'm not paying for it because I don't get paid enough to be just buying
Toss
stuff.
around $27.
Yeah, I mean,
All right, I'm good. Found the pieces. All right, so there was a graphic making the rounds the other day of the last 10 Super Bowls. So the one after you played in, Brad. Super Bowl 51 through this upcoming Super Bowl, Super Bowl 60. There's been 10 Super Bowls, obviously, in between those times. There's only been 3 different teams to represent the AFC. In 9 of 10 of those years, it was either the Patriots or the Chiefs. Does that mean the
Bengals
AFC's
is the only one that
good?
doesn't?
Yeah, the Bengals is the only team that not named the Chiefs or Patriots from the AFC to represent that conference in the Super Bowl. Does that make the AFC good or bad?
It makes it less interesting to me. I like parity. I like seeing different teams in there. For a minute, it's cool to see a dynasty. But after a while, you're just like, man, give me something else. Give me some fresh blood. Give me something new to watch. I want new storylines. So I find it to be much less interesting. I think it's fascinating how the NFC is a revolving door. And it could be anybody's year. Now, it's not the Green Bay Packers' year. And all these years and all the revolving doors of the NFC, the Packers haven't found their way in. But that's why I find it interesting.
Has it just been the Chiefs, Patriots, and Bengals?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That's miserable. That's awful. Catch up.
Honestly, if you were to add in my Super Bowl and then the Super Bowl 49, the Super Bowl 48, you'd only add the Broncos. So the last, what would that be, 12 years?
It's only been 4 teams.
And I think before that,
That's embarrassing.
The Broncos that year is the Patriots again. Now I might be unsure.
Yeah, Steelers were Super Bowl 45, but it might be only Broncos and Patriots.
I did see a stat where in the last like 20 some years, I think the Ravens, Steelers, Broncos, Patriots, Chiefs, and
the one Bengals time.
In the Bengals I think those might be the only teams like since the flip of the century.
It's like 2000.
Yeah, in 2000 was the Patriots.
I guess there was a couple
Patriots,
Colts
Ravens
in there too.
Oh, the Colts. Yeah, it's 8 teams. So it's been those 8 teams.
Yeah.
Can we officially agree to retire the wheel?
I'm gonna try to order a new one.
Can we retire this one now?
Thank you for your service.
It's really a marketing budget thing. Before I think he stole the wheel from the marketing.
I think it was already retired because it was already in bad shape, but it gave us about a year.
It was a great wheel.
So
I
you're
have
just
fond memories of the wheel.
You're just too strong, Strofe. Look at you.
I think I am. All those push-ups, led to the demise of the wheel. So, in the meantime, we'll have to pull names out of a hat or something. It's going to be the hat of Strofe.
Cool. What you got next, Strofe? Oh wow, this is
it. We're retiring the wheel, and Homer's coming up next.
Oh, well, thanks, Strofe. That was it. R.I.P. to the wheel until we get a new one. Coming up next, Homer. He's been talking about this Giannis stuff for a while, and I think Homer was right. We'll ask him his reaction to Giannis finally maybe asking for a trade. Keep it locked. Homer joins us from the Homer Hour coming up next here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Hey, Gabe, also, did you call us idiots?
Yeah, it's exactly what I called you. Yes.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Homer Blow and Bailey Cohen. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffel, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
Kyle, Brust Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind, the same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build-your-own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
New year, new ride. Start 2026 in style at Cunis. Bring in the savings with amazing offers on all cars, trucks, and SUVs at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis dealerships in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and Oak Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. Trade in the old and drive into the new with huge incentives and rebates on all new in-stock cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick. Better tech, better safety, better payments. Plus, we have pre-owned payments for every budget and over 2,500 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from group-wide. And don't miss this month's service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Scott Kunis, COO of Kunis Auto Group. We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials. And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive no-fear lifetime powertrain warranty, included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases. Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
New year, new ride. Start your search online at shopkunis.com.
Selling your home during winter may surprise you. Serious buyers are still out there and often more eager to move.
Homes get strong offers this time of year, and with less competition, your listing can really shine.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf and Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. Our team leads with faith, gratitude, and giving back, donating over $200,000 to local causes since 2020.
Tony Wendorf and Associates is ready to get to work for you with our white glove selling experience. Just search online, Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf and Associates.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. But you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only, and you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Radio legend.
I don't care. I wanted to talk to Brent Musburger. That was for my own personal benefit. I hope other people enjoyed it, but I wish I was Brent Musburger. How about that?
Voice of Marquette basketball.
Joplin to the basket. Oh, wow. Hammer time.
And owner of the most famous catchphrase, at least in this building.
Oh, baby, that's sweet.
It's time for Uncle Homer on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
guys, it is time for Homer to join us here on Kyle, Brust, and Norman. But before we do that, I got to talk about my windows that I love. If you are looking to upgrade your windows in your home, Universal Windows Direct is the place to go. I'm telling y'all, even though it is cold outside, it is so cozy in my home. All I do is close the doors. I close the bedroom doors, and I stay warm during the night. We only keep it on 69, but our house stays extremely warm and comfortable because of our Universal Window Direct windows. Right now, you can buy 4 windows, get 4 free. You get 60 months interest free. You get $1,000 off your project, and you can get a vacation voucher. Oh, that's a great deal. So call them today at 414-410-2000 or visit them at universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows. We're being joined here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman by Homer. Homer.
Yes.
Is Giannis going to be a Buck next year?
No.
That easy. You don't think they should try to salvage the relationship?
Well, I'm sure they will. They'd love him to play here the rest of his career.
Do you think that him saying, I'm ready for a new home is the equivalent of saying, trade me?
Well, no, but back before, he said day to day. What's your situation in Milwaukee? Day to day.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
This story is not new.
That's true.
In fact, this story is very old because it's being done by the guy at ESPN who's written it 100 times.
But Homer, what's new is the listening to offers. That's the news.
No, he says that. It's the same guy doing all the reports. What's different is what Giannis has done or said, and that's what I say. So it's amazing to me that now, and I don't have any problem with the reporter, but he's been reporting it. Somebody should make a list of all the reports that he's had. I'm not saying they're inaccurate, but this has been going on, and this is the complaint that's been going on for years. Well, it's different now because Giannis has spoken. It's day to day. He said this
last Monday,
yes.
MLK Day.
Right, of which the next day I said was a sad day because it's over. Now, I think Giannis saying day to day is a bigger story than what's announced now because neither party, Giannis or the Bucks, aside from what Giannis has said, are saying anything.
I just think it's a little bit bigger because somebody leaked it to him, and from my perspective, I think the front office must have leaked it to Sean.
Bigger.
Because now they're now they're listening.
We're bigger because Giannis already said it's day to day.
But just because you say it,
if Giannis had said nothing, I would have no change in the belief of it based on this report.
Really?
Right. Because this has been going on for some time, but nothing's happened.
But now it feels like there is a new level of urgency.
And it feels that way because Giannis said his situation is day to day.
But that married with the idea that the Bucks are listening, it seemed like there was a long time where the Bucks weren't even listening.
No, they've always been listening.
Really?
Yes.
So you think it's just hiding now because we're a week away from the trade deadline?
No, it's because nothing's happened. They know that Giannis has probably said he might want to go. And
I think they were trying. From my perspective, I believe the Bucks were going to give it a go, and Giannis was going to say, okay, let's see how the first maybe 40 games go. He ends up getting hurt, and then he said, all right, well, let's see how this team plays without me. They didn't play very well without him. And then he comes back, then he comes back, and they played bad with him.
All of which is possible, but that's just your opinion, as I have mine, based on nothing any different than it has been before. This amazes me that this story at this time, and I think it's being given more credibility because of what Giannis said recently. Like, this is... Go back and go through all the list of the inside information that he's had. And I'm not saying it's inaccurate, but you didn't know about it then, and I think it was accurate back then. I think the discussion that they may have had with the Knicks.
Well, then, Homer, with that, are you, as the Milwaukee Bucks organization, are you going to do right by Giannis and trade him to the best team possible? Or so you said, give me the picks, baby.
Give me everything. I'm going to try to. My job is to do the best I can for the organization.
What if the NBA, if things get around the NBA, what if players they did Giannis bogus by sending him to Washington?
They don't.
I mean, it's Milwaukee. We ain't LA.
No, it doesn't matter who you are. They understand how this goes. I would think. I don't know how the Bucks will feel like they want to treat Giannis well and stuff like that. I would assume there's some understanding there. But all the stuff that goes on has gone on in so many times before with other big-name players in the league. This isn't new to anyone.
Who's to blame for the erosion of the team, the front office or Giannis?
None of it is on Giannis. None. Giannis's problem, he's been hurt. And specifically in the playoffs, which is affected.
Big times.
Okay, since they won the championship, I mean, this isn't the beginning of the end of the Bucks in terms of where they were. This has been going on for a couple years. Since they won the title, How many playoff series have they won in all the additional years?
I think
one.
Which would be 22?
1 or 2.
I think one.
One.
To get to, they were in the
It's
Eastern
crazy.
Conference Finals.
One series. They beat Chicago and then lost to
Boston
the
wasn't
next
in the
year.
Eastern